Ahem. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest live show of all time. That is right, everybody. My hair is a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. What did I just drop on the floor? What was that? Oh well, I have no idea. With that being said, hair is a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. For any VOD watchers, may or may not include timestamps in the description after the fact. We'll see. I do intend on doing a few segments. With that being said, hello, Katsu, and congratulations on being the first person in chat. Hello, XX86XX. Congratulations on being the second person in chat. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Hello, Gabriel. Hope you're doing well. Very sorry for the lack of stream. Well, I was about to say lack of uploads, but I actually did upload. But, not sure how many of you guys saw it. It's my worst performing video out of the last 10 that I've uploaded, including ones that are from, years ago. Before the algorithm maxing channel arc, or what, you get what I mean, okay? Even before my channel blew up. So, if that's not a testament to my channel being dead, then I don't know what is. But, that's okay. Hello, Randy S. saying, heyo, just got a new apartment, and I got a fat new bag of weed today. Well, congratulations and enjoy your weed. Hello, Anon420 Cereal, welcome back, good to see you again, saying, I'm gay. You are, in fact, gay. I couldn't possibly agree more with that sentiment. Hello, Jack Ezekiel. Hopes you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. That was grammatically correct. Wow. Hello, Free Palestine. Hello, Bubbly Frog. Hello, Cheetah Man. Hello, Venomous. Hello, Femyoz. Hello, the Gaming Giant. I am not a bottom. That is slander. I'll have you find. All right, that is right. All right, we will not be slandering my good name. Hello, Anti-Smiley. Hello, Florida Man. Dead Channel Maxing 2.0. We've been Dead Channel Maxing, right? I just haven't been calling it that. Hello, Finn. Hello, 80J. You're a bottom. Nuh-uh, this is fake news. All right, this is what the woke mob wants you to believe. All right, but yeah, I am's hopes you am's doing as wells. Femi Wartooth, true. No, it's true. Nuh-uh, it's not true. It's fake news. I'm a big, strong toppy top. Everyone knows that this is the case. All right, you are lying if you say otherwise. With that being said, remember, guys, it's not gay to like Femyoz. This is true. Now, if you're a woman and you like me, that's pretty fucking gay. I can't lie, but that's okay. All right, because I'm gay too. All right, it's very epic. If it wasn't obvious just from looking at me. Hello, Ivion. Very good to see you again. If we do any segments, I actually will react to the thing that you sent me. I haven't watched it, but I may as well, because why not? So if I get around to doing any segment-oriented stuff, we'll do that first. Don't you worry. Hello, Eric Vandenborn. Hope you're doing well. Saying, hi, my sexy, soft teddy bear. Hello, Eric Vandenborn. I'm so excited to see you again. Anyways. Oh, yeah, you are a side. No, I'm a big, strong toppy top. This is also the earliest I've ever been here. Well, congratulations. Welcome back. Good to have you here. Yeah, I gotta stream more often. I'm very sorry for the lack of content lately, but we'll get there. We got channel emotes, obviously. Cheetah Man using a few of them. Can you throw your long hair over your face and say, my big teddy bear, with your low voice? Yes, I'll be sure to do that. Don't you worry. Nah, you're a big old bottom. This is fake news. Fake news, it's what the woke mob wants you to believe. Femi, I miss you. Hello, Pike Ponytails. Very good to see you again. Imagine getting pegged by Femyoz. I'm sure you imagine that all the time, chat. Hey, Femyoz, I'm here. Hello, Kaden. Good to see you again. Very good to see you again. Anyways. Yo, what's up, Grog? Hope you're doing well. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing about as good as you could do if you're me, which is... I mean, it could be worse. Finally tuning in. Hell yeah. I got a new bed. Well, congratulations. Smash or pass Bigfoot? Smash, obviously. Come on. Hey, Femyoz, I'm here too. Just Eepy. Welcome back, Mommy Ramiro. Good to see you again. Feel free to fall asleep the stream if that's necessary. Sleeping is good. Did you know that? Did you know that sleeping is good? Let's see. Don't worry. My girlfriend is also a bottom, and she acts like you, so you're not alone in pretending to be a top. Shut up. No, she's just acting like a top despite being a bottom. But that means that I truly am actually a top. Because, I'm sure that whenever she thinks of what a top is like, she immediately thinks of me. Yes, yours truly, the great Femyoz. And it tries to replicate that as much as possible. And that's why you'll notice that when she pretends to be a top, our mannerisms are very similar. Because really, she's pretending to be me, of course. With that being said, Yo, do you stream games? No, not usually, not usually. I generally like to talk about YouTube drama, politics, weird lolcows that I find. We talk about a lot of stuff. I like to talk to you guys as well. So if you like something that's a little bit more interactive, something that involves you, yes, you the viewer, then feel free to stick around. I highly recommend you do so, just because I know that when I'm a viewer, when I watch a stream, I want the streamer to interact with me. You know, that's something that's always been like a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. It's like, why would I watch you live when I could just watch the VOD if you don't if you don't ever engage with chat? Like, what's the point? Like, if you read one chat message an hour, then like, why don't you just pre-record everything at that point? There's like, what is the net gain there of doing it all live if you never read chat, you know? But I noticed the server's been doing good. It's a lot more fun since I've been joining the VCs. Hell yeah. We've been growing the server. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff. Anyways, my bottom pretends to be a top sometimes too. There must be something in the water. It must be the estrogen in the water, obviously. Either that or the Tylenol giving everybody autism. And yeah. OnlyFans when? Hey, at least you're honest about your intentions. Anyways. I make love to paintings of Jesus Christ. Me too. Me too. But yeah, can I smash and pass? Smash and pass what? I mean, I suppose that you can. Well, it depends on what it is. As long as you're both consenting, really. Anyways. It is turning the frogs gay indeed. How did you know? You need Jesus. You need evidence of Jesus. 6'7"? This is true. I agree with the sentiment of 6'7". Indeed. Show us your feet. Why do you want to see that? Smash or pass a paper cut. How the fuck would you smash a paper cut? I want to nail Jesus like I'm crucifying him. Aw, hell yeah. Now we're getting into the real kinky shit. And welcome back, Jacob C. Very good to see you again. That's right. I recognize all the regulars here. Or at least I try my best to. All the people that are active in chat, essentially. I love saying 6'7", but my family hates it. Look, it's one of those things where, you know, the more you say it, the better it gets. You know, they'll get used to it eventually, all right? Nah, I don't believe in God. Based. Evidence? Look around you. Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence of God. So if you're saying look around you, well, even according to your own worldview, your God is not something that you can see. So clearly looking around isn't going to cut it. So surely you would have some sort of logical justification that deductively proves that your God is real. Surely you would have something like that. Except you don't have that because there's no such thing. Less yap, more feet is crazy. Did you cut your hair? A little bit ago. Yeah. Like what would that have been? Like a month ago or something? I got a haircut. I got it like layered and stuff. So yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen me in a while, yeah, hello. Hope you're all doing well. I've also grown my eyebrows out a bit, and I think it looks better like that. I was in an over-plucking my eyebrows era, and I'm so glad that era is over. 6'7" is funny when the delivery is right. No, it's actually one of those things that's funny no matter what. All right, there's not been a single instance where I've seen 6'7" and not immediately burst out laughing, actually. You look so much more feminine than the last time I saw you. Congrats. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you. Do you love Jesus Christ? Well, I make love to Jesus Christ, all right? We have, hardcore makeout sessions. I fuck him in the ass. Lots of fun stuff. Go and repent, bro. Why don't you repent to this dick? That's right. Yes, it's been a while. Welcome back, Monotonia. Hope you're doing well. She's FemAF now. Well, thank you. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best. If you didn't stream so late, I'd be here so much more often. I really do need to stream more often as well. I need to stream more often for longer periods of time, but we're gonna get there. Don't you worry. You look so beautiful today, dear. Not in a romantic way. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Your dick is small, bruh. That's why you're trying to be a girl. This is true. How did you know? That's true, dude. When your dick is below 5 inches, it's time to put the fries in the bag. If you're 5'6", you got less than 5 inches. All right. You gotta just start taking estrogen. All right. It's Jover. All right. You'll never be a real man, so you may as well become a woman. Am I right? Anyways, I nutted on a photo of white Jesus. Now he's ultra white. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Femyoz are going to be in VC after streaming. I'm not sure yet. I might be. We'll see. There's a good chance. That joke was hilarious. Yeah, and that's how you can tell that I'm not a real woman is because I'm funny. So whenever I say some funny shit that makes me super clocky, now I need to work on being less funny so that I can be like a real woman. That's right. I am Hi. How is Femyoz today? I'm doing all right. How are you, Astrid? How are you? Hi, Femi. Hello, Kamikaze Days. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Anyways, the cup says Femyoz. It sure does. That mug in the background does, in fact, say Femyoz. You're not funny. And that's how you know I'm a real woman. See, it's a win-win. Either I'm the funniest comedian ever because I'm not a real woman, or it's the case that I'm extremely unfunny, which means that I'm a real woman, which is very gender affirming. You know, it's one or the other. And no matter what, I win. You know, there's no losing for me. I literally can't lose. You're the realest woman ever. Let's fucking go. 100% good for you for not being silenced by bigotry. Look, if bigotry was gonna silence me, I would be very quiet by now. But it only makes me louder. You're so cute. Thank you, Windows Error. I appreciate that. Why are you gay? Why aren't you gay? Or are you gay? You know, something tells me you are. You look very feminine. Well, thank you. Get your prostate checked? Yeah, I'm sure you'd love to check my prostate. Unfortunately, the answer is no, you can't check it. I'm unfunny, so I'm more woman than you. That's true. That's true. You got me there. You're the funniest real woman. True. True. Woke AF is what's happening to humanity. That's true. It's because Tylenol is giving us all autism, which makes us all woke and transgender by proxy. You know, if you really think about it, you know, that's just the truth. Honestly, I wish I could look as good as you. You probably already do and you have brainworms, okay? That's my opinion on the matter, but thank you regardless. Thank you. I'll take the compliment regardless. I'll try to take the compliment. And I'm not always the best at that. Double tap to smash like. Very important. Gotta boost me in the algorithm, chat. Very important stuff. Double tap to smash like. Jesus Christ can save you. What can he save me from? Can he save me from the cock and ball torture machine? I don't think so. Anyways, guys. Let's see here. Just sending love. Well, thank you. Thank you. You're the Reddit person, right? I don't know what you mean by the Reddit person. I mean, I've used Reddit before. But I wouldn't consider myself to be a Reddit person. I rarely use Reddit. Femi, are you ABDL? No. I like cheeseburgers. How about you? I mean, yeah, well, to be fair, it depends. It depends. Depends on the type. Can we get a quick 360? Chat. If you donate $5 for 360, I guess. Donor rewards are in the description. Obviously, it has to be per the request of the person donating. And yeah. You haven't showed up in my For You page in so long. I've missed you. Welcome back, Emma. It's very good to see you again. And if you want to avoid me not showing up in your For You page, there are a few things you could do. You could A, actively seek out my content, and B, you know, just like, join the Discord server or something. Yeah, why not? Something like that. Hey, Femi, opinion on CBT and clicker training. Well, the first one is kind of a meme. The second one, look, the second one is sort of like it was a meme, but like, you know, I don't know. People in my server have been like telling me I should get clicker trained. And it might end up working. I don't know. Did you ever get hypnotized? No, I've actually never been hypnotized before. Autobots, trans flag versus Decepticons, conservative grifters. True. Fucking true. I'm high right now. Parentheses legally / medically. Well, that's good to know. What's your view on religion? Look, I'm somebody that believes that, like, well, there's a few takes that I have. One of them, I believe it's a bunch of bullshit. But I also don't judge someone on the sole basis of being religion. Look, if you believe in Christianity, Judaism, Islam, or the fucking flying spaghetti monster, I don't care. Believe whatever you want. My only stipulation comes when either A, people are trying to force that onto me, or B, they say that I'm not allowed to criticize it or make jokes about it, which I think is fucking stupid. Why do girls be cute? I have no idea. Why are women cute? Baller, thank you, Red, but please don't spam. Spamming is bad. Don't do that. Why did you become trans? Why didn't you become trans? That's the real question. Anyways, giant flying spaghetti monster, yeah. The one valid religion. Cancel culture is destroying comedy. Yeah, and cancel culture comes from the right. Does it not? Like, predominantly the right wing at this point. Like, people that are moral fagging over Charlie Kirk memes. Oh no, how dare you make a joke about him? He's dead. Even though we've been making jokes about fucking George Floyd for years now. But I guess double standards are based. It's actually bad when you do it with Charlie Kirk. Even though he was a way worse person than George Floyd. Right? Like, oh, George Floyd was like, what, a drug addict? Whereas Charlie Kirk was like genuinely fucking evil. He was like a conservative ghoul who made money shilling for Israel and being anti-LGBTQ. And we're supposed to respect this guy. Fuck no. Fuck no. No, I obviously don't support the killing of Charlie Kirk, right? At no point have I ever said that I do. But what I also take issue with is people acting like I'm supposed to give a fuck. Like I'm supposed to be, like, sad about it, right? I didn't know the guy personally. The only things that I knew about him was fairly negative. So it's not like I'm going to suddenly have a positive opinion of him now that he's dead. That would be ridiculous. Do you have a leash? Maybe. The fact that he would have laughed if an LGBT person died is insane. Well, I mean, it's true. He would have. He wouldn't give a fuck. So, like, why am I meant to give a fuck about him? He literally said that he was in favor of banning all gender-affirming care nationally, including for adults, meaning that I would be forced to detransition. Look, all I'm going to say is I don't support political violence. I think that murdering people is bad, but at the same time, I'd rather it be him than me, okay? Just saying. She looks so snuggleable. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyways, all I'm going to say is Charlie Kirk was a bad person. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Anyone that supports Charlie Kirk or supported him is a moron. Like, I am sorry, but Charlie Kirk is a fucking loser. You are a supporter of the status quo. You support fucking Israel if you support Charlie Kirk. Like, really? You want to go show your support for Israel's number one shill? You're going to support Benjamin Netanyahu's number one bootlicker? So fucking pathetic. So pathetic. You're definitely trying, but no objectivity. No, it is objectively the case. He also said that if his own daughter, got raped at the age of 9 years old, that he would force her to carry the pregnancy to term and would force her to have the rape baby. That is a real thing that he has said. Just saying. Mocking someone's death, that's crazy. You don't seem to have that same position with George Floyd. Now, granted, I think George Droid memes are fucking hilarious. But I hold the same standard for Charlie Kirk. It's not just George Droid memes that are hilarious. It's also Charlie Kirk memes. Charlie Kirk memes are funny too. But some people are such pussies. They can't handle jokes. They're fucking pathetic. They're losers. They're overly sensitive. And it's the most pathetic fucking shit. Anyways. Are you an atheist or agnostic? I would say I'm an agnostic. Anyways. Floyd was criminal? Okay, yeah, he was on drugs. Who fucking cares? Oh, he was a drug addict. Whereas Charlie was a voice of the nation. No, Charlie was a voice of Israel. He supported Israel. He wanted our money. Instead of going to our healthcare, he wanted it to go to the IDF. You want to know what's funny? You want to know who has healthcare? The Israeli citizens. They have healthcare that is covered. Their healthcare is covered. You know, they're swimming in it. You want to know whose healthcare isn't covered? Our healthcare. Money that could be going towards us and our healthcare as American citizens. That is money that Charlie Kirk explicitly was in favor of sending to Israel. But go on. Talk about how he was a voice for the nation. No, he was a voice against queer people and a voice in favor of Israel. But go on, say he was a great guy. No, he was a bad person. He was a bad person. Rip Bozo, he will not be missed. You are so sensitive, bitch. Oh, that is priceless coming from a Charlie Kirk defender. I'm the one that's okay with making jokes about dead people. You're not. I'm the one that's not too sensitive for that shit. Look, I'm a leftist, but I thought that some of the George Droid memes were funny. Why? Because I'm not a fucking pussy. And because I'm consistent in all of the things that I believe. I know, crazy. Moist Critical is the based Charlie, y'all. True. Fucking true. Yeah, because you haven't seen someone die, obviously. I literally saw the video. What are you yapping about? You're extremely sensitive. You're getting super triggered right now. No, being passionate about a topic is not the same thing as being triggered. I hate to break it to you. Those are not actually the same thing. Ah, yes, I'm so triggered because I think that Charlie Kirk was a bad person. That's so true. Very accurate. Very, very accurate. This is pure rage bait. Wait. Am I the one getting triggered or am I the one triggering people? Wait, you guys have to make up your mind. Am I the rage baited or the rage baiter? Femyoz based losers mauling. True. Facts. I am Charlie Kirk. So true, Queen. I am Charlie Kirk. You are Charlie Kirk. We are all Charlie Kirk. Hey, thank you, Sage Rosabelle, for the $20. You beautiful fucking bastard. Saying, make sure to dig out the copper wire inside of your skin for profit. Money has never been easier before. Just mug chai Aldrin in a rich neighborhood. This is how financial freedom is achieved. Thank you for the $20. Very, very generous. First dono of the stream. Very much appreciated. Feel free to request donor rewards. Also, thank you so much, Randy S., for the $10, you beautiful fucking bastard, saying, this is so sad. Alexa, play Protect Ya Neck by Wu-Tang Clan. So true. So true. Thank you so much, Randy S., you beautiful fucking bastard. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Anyways, dragging my balls across Charlie Kirk's tombstone. Me too. Watch out, there might be piss on there from people like me pissing on it. Careful now. Might want to clean off the piss stains first. Unless you want that to get on your balls. Anyways. He was a good man with common sense. No, he was literally in favor of forcing children to have rape babies. I don't know what you're on about. What did Charlie Kirk ever say that was hateful to LGBT? Oh, he called us like abominations. He also said that we don't deserve rights. We don't deserve, the right to transition. He thinks that all of that should be banned, including for adults. He also explicitly stated that he opposes the Civil Rights Act. I'm not even joking. That is a real thing that he has explicitly stated publicly, not just behind the scenes, not as like a joke. No, he unironically is against, was against. Gotta respect his pronouns. Was/were. He was unironically against the Civil Rights Act. It's not out of there's no context that justifies being against the Civil Rights Act or being anti-LGBTQ. There is zero justification for it. No justification for it. You are brainwashed. I'm brainwashed because I'm in favor of the Civil Rights Act, and I think you're a fucking freak if you're not. Dude, you're brainwashed for being against things like segregation and thinking that you're a freak if you're in favor of them. Like, okay, dude. Right. Uh-huh. Sure. Oh, no, it's just taken out of context. There's totally a real context that justifies Charlie Kirk opposing the Civil Rights Act. Yeah, bro. What context justifies it? Explain that one to me. With that being said, we're currently streaming in front of 440 of our closest friends and family. God damn, that is a lot of fucking people. And if you would like to support the stream, double tap the smash like. We only have 53 likes. I know you haven't liked the stream yet. You've been enjoying the content. I know for a fact you have. You've gotten entertainment out of this, all right? Double tap the smash like right now. See this? 53 likes. We could at least get 100. Can we get 100 likes before the 26-minute mark? We have a minute and a half left. We're 30 likes away. Oh my God, it went way the fuck up. Double tap. All right, I got to show myself more often. And if you really want to support the channel, there are a few ways that you can do this. You could either A, super chat. Any and all super chats are very much appreciated. Just press the little $sign. You can buy a membership, get access to things like exclusive YouTube emojis. So it's like custom emotes. exclusive content. Maybe we're going to do some exclusive streams. You get to see content early release in many cases. So like for video content, you might get to see it like a day or two early, depending on when I upload. And yeah. Oh my God. 12 more likes. Can we get it within the next 20 seconds? I know for a fact we can. We could easily get 100 likes. But that means that you, the beautiful person watching, have to double tap in order for that to happen. Oh, and last thing. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5. Does counting down pressure you to like double tap to smash? Well, apparently not, because it hasn't gone up. Okay, well it did. It was just delayed. 2 more likes. 2 more likes, everybody. And if you really want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is or the best way to do. Also, thank you for 100 likes, everybody. Very much appreciated. Hell yeah. Obviously, continue to double tap to boost me in the algorithm. Very, very much appreciated. And also, Streamlabs link is always in the pinned message. Streamlabs.com/Femyoz. Always in the pinned message. And the great thing about Streamlabs is that YouTube does not take 30%. So for super chats and memberships, just fair disclaimer, YouTube does take 30%. With Streamlabs, I get all of the money. If you're on mobile and can't click the link for whatever wacky reason, you could either A, manually type it, it's fairly easy to remember, streamlabs.com/Femyoz, or alternatively, you could click on my channel. The first link in the About section is my Streamlabs link, streamlabs.com/Femyoz. You also get longer chat messages as well through Streamlabs. Just saying. Any and all donations are always very much appreciated. Smashing like is also appreciated. It's free, easy, no logical reason not to do it. Yeah, with that being said, enough of me shilling myself, and let's go back to whatever we were yapping about. Your choker is cute as hell. Where did you get it? I think I got it from Amazon, and thank you very much. I haven't worn it in a while, It's very AGP coded, but or at least that's what terminally online people have told me. But I don't care. I'm gonna wear it sometimes anyway. Anyways. OMG, chat is really homophobic and transphobic. Fuck all of you. True. Except we here's the thing is we get like a huge influx of people that like are very angry at my existence as like a trans person. And this just like proves. This literally just proves that like, yeah, transphobia is still a real issue in this country. People be like, oh no, what do you mean? What homophobia? What transphobia? What are you yapping about? And then it's like, you look at my chat when my shit's doing well in the algorithm and it's like, oh, yeah, maybe it is still a real issue. Maybe this isn't something that's been left behind. I'm just like existing, sharing my opinions, which is that, yeah, I think that Charlie Kirk was a bad person while he was alive. I'm not endorsing political violence. I'm not saying that he should have been shot. All I'm saying is that he was a bad person and that you should be allowed to make jokes about people. Disagreeing with liberals equals homophobic. No, but you disagreeing with my right to exist equals transphobic. You disagreeing with gay people's right to get married equals homophobic. That's what that means. Give us a fit check today? All right, bet. Mainly because we got $30 so far through super chats. Why the hell not? This is a classic fit. Hope y'all like it. That's right, everybody. I hope you all like this epic outfit. But yeah, we've got the, it's the classic plaid skirt. The thigh highs with like little stripes on them. Hell yeah. And, yeah, with that being said, hope y'all like this outfit. And, yeah. Ah, I almost tripped and fell. That would have been bad. Ooh, the skirt is nice. Very cute. Thank you. The auto pan cam is sick. Hell yeah. And it's thanks to some of you guys that helped fundraise for it. I think that was like a year ago. But this camera has served me so well. And I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I actually haven't seen any signs of it failing or anything like that, which is really good. I hope I didn't just jinx it. That would be really sad. Why didn't the daily dono go up? So it's bugged where it doesn't count super chats, which is donating through YouTube, unfortunately. Like, the YouTube donos will still show up on screen, but they won't count for the daily dono goal for some reason. The only thing that counts for the daily dono goal, for whatever reason, is Streamlabs donations, Streamlabs in the pinned message, obviously streamlabs.com/Femyoz, and those add up to the daily dono goal. I know it's, like, weird, but I haven't been able to fix it, unfortunately. So yeah. These Charlie Kirk cocksuckers. Yeah, and it's like, These people are trying to convince me that like, oh, that like Charlie Kirk like didn't oppose queer people or that he like wasn't a horrible person. And then it's like all the same people are like super homophobic, you know? It's like, no, actually, I think it would be based to ban all gender affirming care. And it's like, well, you're proving my point. You know? You're proving my point. You're proving me to be correct. Yes, Kirk can rest in piss. Rest in piss, bozo. Transition goes OMFG. Well, thank you. Oh, very much appreciated. Professional victim. Honestly, that sounds a lot like conservatives, you know, the professional victims of the world. And yeah. Anyways. How do you know? Oh, how do I know if I'm trans? I'm genuinely confused about what I am and need help. Look, I don't know. You just gotta ask yourself a bunch of questions, figure shit out, do a little bit of research. I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask, maybe. Trans people are the future. True. True. We're not going away. We're not going away. The trans people have always existed and we always will exist. There's nothing that can be done about that. Hate to break it to you. Why do you have a dog collar? It's not a dog collar, okay? I'm a cat girl, not a puppy girl. Thank you very much. Anyways. I'm just out here, I don't fucking know. Yeah, honestly, it'd be like that. But yeah, if you oppose transphobia, like the stream, smash like, subscribe. And yeah. We do a lot of fun stuff here. We rage bait weird conservative people. You know, we advocate in favor of trans rights. We do a lot of fun stuff. How big is your dick is a crazy question. That's a crazy thing to ask. Love you, girl. Stay safe from another unhinged trans girl. Well, thank you, and I very much appreciate that, Tessa. Very much appreciated. Hope that you stick around. We need more epic viewers like you. People that are based and red-pilled. Why do I say based and red-pilled? Let me put it this way. Why do 65% of Catholics not practice what they preach? Because they're all hypocrites. Just saying. Trans flag over homophobia? True. True. Very obvious case of autogynephilia. So true. I'm actually dilating right now. How did you know? Anyways. Your voice is great. Any voice training tips? So basically, I started out by watching a channel called Trans Voice Lessons. Very good channel. Like it a lot. Long story short, I started there, then I joined a bunch of voice training servers and would practice every night there. And then, yeah, I slowly made my voice more feminine over time. I haven't really done anything voice training related in a while, though. So my voice sounds kind of the same as it did a year ago. But yeah, Anyways, guys. Trans voice lessons mentioned? Hell yeah. You literally got mogged by... Wait, who is Awesome Billy 3? You can't even play the accordion. You're right, I can't play the accordion. You're not wrong. I say her voice is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Let's be honest. Those who come in here with hate and say that they are Catholics will not make it to heaven, for they have both used God's name in vain and have broken 6 of the 10 commandments. You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Your voice is lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Your voice is soothing. Thank you. I need to drink more water. I'm dehydrated. My mouth feels dry. My throat feels dry. What is trans rights? Basically our right to exist and not be discriminated against. That's going to be things like access to necessary medical care, you know, gender affirming care and whatnot. So that's going to be like HRT and stuff like that. You know, the right to not get fucking hate crimed. You know, shit like that. What country is this and why are they so gorgeous / handsome? True. I don't know. It's the pink, blue and white country. Why are some of these people so rude to you? Because they hate trans people. They literally just hate trannies. Yeah, the right to use the bathroom without getting hate crimed or arrested. Anyways. Let's see here. I'll stay here a bit longer, even though I probably can't. Hell yeah. Any and all support is always very much appreciated. You know, it's not easy out there if you're a tranny like me. I'm just saying. The world is kind of against you in a lot of ways. But, You have to remain strong. You have to not give a fuck. You have to be like, I don't know. You have to advocate for yourself. Anyways, there is only one way to get to heaven, which is PayPaling me $100 billion. Yo, that's true. Except it applies to me, actually. Just saying, if transphobes found you, they might be looking, and if they might be, and if they looking, they might just find us trans people really hot. True. No, a lot of it is like a very fucking psychosexual sort of mentality. And what I mean by that is, look, it's not a coincidence that red states, conservative states, have disproportionately high rates of people watching tranny porn. There's a reason for that. It's because these people will masturbate to us, but they don't want us to have rights. Why? Because they're insecure about the fact that they masturbate to us. Now, it's very gross that, they objectify us like that without wanting us to have basic human rights, but it's true. It's the truth, right? A lot of it boils down to projection. At the end of the day, it's like all the people, or maybe not all, but a lot of the people that talk about how much they hate trannies, a lot of the time they masturbate to us. They watch tranny porn. The stats don't lie. So if you don't want to come across as somebody that goons to tranny porn, maybe be less transphobic. And I'm just saying, people that are like vehemently opposed to trans people, generally they let's just say that they're repressing something. I love trans women because that means more women and I'm lesbian. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So fucking based. Let's see. Says trans girl, but am I wrong or is this guy? No, you're just like wrong. You're just like wrong. Why masturbate if you think they're hot? What do you mean? What? Wouldn't it be like the opposite is like, why would you do it if you didn't think that? Is that what you meant to say? Like, unless you think that, then like, yeah, obviously, unless you're into trans women, you're not going to be watching porn of this. Just saying. Fuck Trump? True. Fuck Trump. He is a pedophile. He's been trying to use the whole Charlie Kirk thing in order to cover up the Epstein files. He is running. He is scared shitless of the Epstein files. And so are all the people around him. All of the people around him, all the people that work for him are scared fucking shitless. They do not want the Epstein files to get out because it's really fucking bad. Yo, thank you, doll, for the $5, you beautiful fucking bastard. With the :3 emoticon. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Dude, I love how there's this person that's just like proudly proclaiming that they love Trump. It's like, so you love a pedophile. Somebody that's hiding the Epstein files. Oh, wow. What a coincidence that he's hiding the Epstein files. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that he was best friends with Epstein. Is obviously going to be proven guilty by those files. No, it's just a coincidence. All right? Don't think about the Epstein files, chat. Stop noticing things. You're not allowed to notice things. Stop thinking about the Epstein files. You can't notice things anymore. Lol, so delusional. True. Being delusional is like when you notice things, all right? Stop noticing things. Don't talk about the Epstein files. Trump says you're not allowed to talk about that. So we must stay quiet about it and not question anything. Don't question the Epstein stuff. You're not allowed to do that. Don't ask any questions. Oh, man. I know a trans girl, she, they, who still dresses a little mask. They sound like a gay man. They know this. They are fine with it. They know what they are. They scare me when they do the straight man voice. Real. Oh, is the Discord server invite link expired? When I end stream, I'll fix that. Don't worry. I'll fix that at the end of stream. Don't you worry. Let's see. You are crazy. I see. Thank you, Raven, for the 279 Canadian saying Epstein was trans. He was not trans. He was cisgender. He was in fact not trans at all, actually. But anyways, I guarantee you a lot of conservatives wish that Epstein was trans, so that they could like use it like against us or whatever. But it's like, oh, but like when there's like a white person that's a pedo, like, oh, it has nothing to do with being like a white man. Like, oh, it's a straight white man. We're just gonna ignore that fact. Look, the fact of the matter is I don't think that that has anything to do with it either. I don't think that, you know, we should look at any cases of that and be like, oh, it's because they're trans, or oh, it's because they're a straight white man. Right? Epstein was a typical cis pedophile. True. Very true. Okay, how they're calling you a gay man because how are they okay with gay people and not this beautiful trans woman? I don't know. It's like weird because like, if I was a gay man, then why am I attracted to women? Make it make sense. Anyways, I don't know. It's like, either way. Straight man voice done by Zesty Queers is always scarily accurate. True. It reminds me of like this one fucking Asian TikToker who was doing like an impression of like an American. He did this with his eyes and he was like, so anyways, I am going to get my credit card. So I was looking at my credit score after the football game, and I saw that the my credit card had fraud used against it. I remember that video. Yeah, you guys remember that video. I'm not doing it justice. That's a South Park bit. I specifically remember that video. It was so fucking funny. It was so funny. Bobby, look, I'm American. Hell yeah. See? Some people remember. You are beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you different. Thank you. Anyways. I need help. I am a completely cis guy, but I am still very feminine and do feminine stuff. Joking. What am I? I question myself a lot. You could be a cis guy that's feminine. You could be a trans woman. You could be non-binary. It's up to you. I mean, it's not really up to you, like the same way that it would be. Like, it's not like, I guess it's like up to you to make the determination as to like whether or not you decide like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like transition. I don't know how you identify. If you identify as a cis guy, that's what you are. If you later realize, oh, I'm actually a trans woman, and that's how you identify, that's what you are. Right? I'm just gonna respect whatever you say that you are, essentially. Yeah. I just hit 2 months on E. Congratulations. I remember when I just started E. Man, that was a long time ago. I've come a long way, I will say. I'm surprised that I'm still alive, you know? What can I say? No, it's great being a part of the 59%. You know, the 59% of trans people that don't kill themselves or whatever. Thanks, I've been needing to know this for about a year now, but I've never actually asked an expert until now. Look, I wouldn't even call myself an expert. I'm not like a medical professional. I am knowledgeable on the subject, but that doesn't, you know, just... I would definitely do your own research. Yeah. I hate that the US is so damn messed up that I have to comfort my fiance every day before work just so she doesn't have a panic attack from the chronic doom scrolling we are forced to partake in. Look, I don't know if I would say we're forced to participate in doom scrolling. I'm gonna be real. Hi, Femyoz, I'm reporting and blocking all the transphobes. Fair enough. Please don't spam, though. Please don't spam. Don't spam. That's that chronically online shit. Olive, please don't spam. I don't want you to get timed out. You're obviously supporting me, but don't spam. Alright? Anyways. Kirk was a bully. Like the dumbass unibrow named... I don't know who is Kurt. Oh, he's some guy that used to bully you in school. Well, fuck that guy. But yeah, Charlie Kirk was definitely a bully. I agree with that. Look, if you don't mind me asking, why did you become trans? So I've always been trans. It wasn't really a choice. What was the motivation behind the choice? Again, not really a choice. Wouldn't word it that way. But what I will say is that in terms of why I ended up transitioning, I guess I chose to transition, is in order to mitigate dysphoria, in order to prevent twink death. That was something that I was terrified of. Weirdly enough, was twink death and masculinizing. I really did not want to masculinize any further. I decided, no, I want to look more feminine. And I figured out that like, oh, well, if I do HRT, then I will accomplish that. Kirk was subhuman. True. So, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, becoming trans is not like a thing. You either are trans or you aren't. Now, you might realize that you're trans, or you might choose to transition, but that's not the same thing. Does that make sense? I know it seems like a little bit pedantic, but I think it is a distinction worth making. Your hair is so pretty. Thank you. It's more like everyone starts in a closet until they open the door, including straight folks. Yes and no. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say maybe like internally in a closet, you might not know I think that there are some straight people that aren't sure if they're straight. I do think that that's a thing where there are going to be some people where it's like, yeah, like I'm not really sure. Maybe somebody's bi-curious, right? And bi-curiousness turns out in one of two ways. Usually either you end up being, you know, bisexual or straight or maybe hetero-flexible, right? And all of those are acceptable outcomes. You know what I mean? But I will say, I wouldn't say that straight people are ever really in the closet. And the reason I say that is mainly just because, you know, it's like so normalized to the point where it's like, you are weirdly enough incentivized to act extremely straight. You know what I mean? Like, take for instance, locker room talk, okay? Something that I never really related to. Not because I wasn't into women, right? But mainly because I wasn't into them the same way that guys were into them. Does that make sense? Like, guys would talk about women in like a very objectifying sort of way. And that always irks me in the wrong way, weirdly enough. Not because I was like super woke back then. It wasn't about like, oh, I'm like woke and I'm like offended by it or anything like that. In fact, like it's like not something that like I'm like preoccupied by even today, now that I am super woke. It was more like I just didn't really get it. Like, what is that what you're attracted to specifically? Is like your ability to objectify them? Like, if anything, I want them to objectify me, right? But I never told anyone that because that was like, you know, probably not socially acceptable, right? It's like, I don't know. It probably would have been really weird if I were to, you know, not really weird, but it would have been not socially acceptable at the time for me to be like, oh yeah, I actually like big, strong mommy dommies that want to peg me. You know, I wouldn't be able to say that back then. You know, I would get made fun of if I were to say that. So I decided to just keep my mouth shut and not say anything. Anyways, all the men I'm into are gay to some extent, which is very funny, IMO. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, I think a lot of it has to do with like gay men on average just have better hygiene. They just take better care of themselves. Yeah. I don't know. Bottom confirmed. Shut up. Can we get some mommy ASMR? Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, I technically do have like the vocal capacity to do it, but like, I don't know. I don't have the personality for it. Hey, thank you, Anthony Hernandez, for the $20, you beautiful fucking bastard. Thank you so much. Very much so appreciated. Very generous, saying, I've enjoyed the femboy to trans woman pipeline journey. Or sorry, I've enjoyed enjoyed the femboy to trans woman journey. I immediately think pipeline. But yeah, I've enjoyed the femboy to trans woman journey. Lots of haters out today, but I'm cis, parentheses straight. I'm not up on the verbiage, but you seem cool and a cutie, so have a good night. Thank you, Anthony. Very much appreciated, and you too. You should also have a good night. You are obligated. It is morally imperative that you have a good night. Yeah, exactly. Gay men aren't afraid of washing their asses and being perceived as gay for doing so. You know, they're not afraid of being gay because they just are gay. So, you know, I'm just saying. I need to drink some water, and then we're gonna get into a stream segment maybe. That's right. Actually, yeah. Wait. Or actually, yeah, why not? Do we do a stream segment? I'm thinking we do. Gotta adjust my hair slightly. You know, just to make it look as good as possible for the segment. You know, how could I not? Chat, we're gonna be doing something that I know. Oh my god, I can't even speak. Chat, we're gonna be doing something that I don't normally do. And what I mean by that is we're gonna be watching some normie content. Now, I wouldn't do this except for the fact that somebody on Discord linked this to me and said, you gotta watch this on stream. Really good video. Way better than I expected. Because we're actually gonna be watching Penguin Zero. Yes, the good Charlie. Not Charlie Kirk, the bad Charlie that we hate. But the good Charlie, Penguin Zero. The Charlie that we love. The best Charlie that's out there. Because apparently, he finally speaks out about Israel. I haven't pre-watched this, but apparently he takes like a pro-Palestine position and criticizes the Israeli government, from what I understand. I'm very interested to see what he has to say on the matter. So let me put my headphones back on. Here. Yeah, there we go. Gotta adjust my hair again. Just because, you know, it's very, very important to adjust my hair. Always. Of course. How could I not? So the video is called I Can't Believe This Timeline. It's 11 minutes long, and it was uploaded today. So we're gonna oop, hold on. Very disappointing stuff indeed. I couldn't possibly agree more. I mean, why is it only 50 months? Well, who knows? But something tells me that the sentencing is, let's just say that it tends to be Trump supporters and people that are associated with Trump that are in favor of lighter sentencing / him getting off scot-free. You know, it really makes you think. And you know for a fact that this is something that Trump is in favor of. Why? Because Trump is just as guilty as all of these people, right? There's a reason that he is going out of his way to hide the Epstein files. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, no, Trump is probably going to pardon him. Trump is probably going to pardon him. Let's be real. You know, if it was not the Trump administration, something tells me that Diddy would actually, I don't know, get a real sentence that's, I don't know, more proportionate to the crimes that he's committed. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Wait, the video audio is muted? I'm retarded. Wait, what the fuck? No audio. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay.
It's so crazy.
I am so sorry about that. We're gonna try this again. Sorry about that, chat.
It's so crazy. It's so despicable, and yet it's stopped being surprising now. P. Diddy just got sentenced to 50 months in prison. Yeah, he got 4 years.
Again, you know for a fact that Trump is in favor of this. Why? Because he's exactly the same. He was on the Epstein list. He wants to hide the Epstein files. Why? Because it proves he's more guilty. And we already know he's guilty. We already know that he's a rapist and a pedophile. But it proves him to be even more guilty.
Years in the slammer. That's it. Basically, the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry gets away with a slap on the wrist.
And you know for a fact it wouldn't be like this if it wasn't under the Trump administration. I'm just saying.
I mean, they're probably going to be supplying him with baby oil in the cell at this point. He just got 50 months in prison. That's it. And
he's probably going to get pardoned by Trump. It really wouldn't surprise me if that happened. Because again, all of these pedophiles are friends with each other. They all support each other. They all do that shit behind the scenes with each other. We know this.
I'm not even confident they're going to keep him incarcerated for the full 50 months. I don't even think he'll be in there that long. He'll be in the...
He would get a life sentence under Kamala, I guarantee you.
He'll be in and out of the slammer lickety split. I feel like it'll be like that scene in SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick steal a balloon on free balloon day, so the cops like close the cell for a split second and tell him to, scram. That's what I think's gonna happen with P. Diddy here. This is just abhorrent. 50 months for the diddler. We gotta start looking into the judge here for a second to see if he got invited.
Something tells me that the judge is far right, or at least a Trump supporter, which I guess would make him far right, but you get the point.
Into the next freak off when he's let loose. Because how is this even possible? I had been keeping up with the case. I had already given you the update about the things that they found him not guilty on, which was
Kamala's a joke, yes, but she's not far right. That's the difference.
Absolutely stunning in the first place. But it's just insane.
Yes, we did need Bernie or Alexandria. I agree with that, right? Obviously, it was still morally obligatory for us to vote for Kamala on Election Day. The reason, of course, being that, she's the lesser of two evils. She is the one that's not a pedophile or rapist. She's not a fascist. So, she's got that going for her.
Insanity. It's absolute insanity. Everybody knows he's guilty. There are decades of evidence, mountains of evidence about all of his crimes.
But just like Trump, because he's rich, and because, right-wing ideology supports pedophilia, he's basically getting off almost scot-free. Why? Because of people like Trump.
A vile, evil worm. and he gets 50 months. This is just clear, irrefutable proof unfolding in front of your eyes that some people genuinely are above the law.
Yeah, and I've been saying this about Trump for ages. Like, once again, Trump is somebody that is just as guilty as P. Diddy, if not even more guilty, of committing many different crimes, right? He is a felon, quite literally. At the same time, though, for whatever wacky reason, oh wow, who would have guessed that the rich, corrupt politician doesn't face any consequences? Wow. I'm sure it's just like a mystery as to why that would be.
Actually, it's not like conspiratorial. It is just the facts of it.
True.
It's crazy. Your Honor, did you stop to consider for a moment that my client has an unbelievable amount of money? Okay, just take that into consideration. I'm not gonna...
I mean, that's literally how it went down with Trump. Let's not kid ourselves.
Bother going into, like, the particulars here about where apparently P. Diddy was so broken about, the 4 years he has to spend in prison, or the strong face the judge put on there for a second while shaking his finger, waggling his little digit here about, justice and all the sick shit that Diddy did.
I feel like there's also a very real chance that a lot of the people that claim that Trump is innocent are going to start defending P. Diddy. I'm not saying that they're going to do this anytime in the near future, but they're going to do it at some point. I guarantee it. Same fucking crowd of people. They don't give a fuck. They're pro-pedo.
Because it's all just fucking performative. It's not real. Because at the end of the day, justice wasn't really served. 4 years in jail for the diddler, the fucking baby oil behemoth, that's unhinged. That's just so twisted. But that's the times we're living in.
Yeah, and it's not a new thing. I don't even think it's just the times we're living in. It's been like this for a while now. We're just seeing the worst version of it. We are seeing a very extreme, high-profile version of it. Whether it be Trump, known pedophile rapist, getting away with all of his different felonies, or P. Diddy, only getting 4 years in prison for being like the ultimate pedophile. Again, it's not just because it's 2025 and things are crazy now. The system itself has always been corrupt to a very high degree. It is just that now that the most corrupt people are in positions of power right now, so that's going to be people like Trump, that's going to be, Republicans that are in office, people like that we're now seeing the worst version of that.
It is crazy the times we're living in. I also just saw today fucking Benjamin Netanyahu just openly stating in front of the whole world his plans on brainwashing because so many people are turning on Israel. So he was asked what he plans to do about it. And you know what? Since I'm just yapping, I'm just gonna go ahead and go on this topic now too.
I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel?
No, what will we do if we stop supporting Israel? Oh no, we need to send more money to Israel. That'll solve all the issues. Oh, what? There's a bunch of poor people that are living on the streets. Send more money to Israel. That'll fix the issue. Oh, what's that? There's political violence and turmoil. Send more money to Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh, what's that? People are not happy about the current administration. Send more money to Israel. That'll fix everything. It's all these people do. Send money to Israel, advocate for Benjamin Netanyahu, ignore the fact that there is a literal genocide happening.
What's our backup plan to be strong, outside the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich.
Dog, you are literally Jewish Hitler. Why are you talking about the woke Reich? You fucking moron. You are stupid. You are the one doing a genocide. You absolute disgusting, subhuman, mega hyper dotard. You disgust me.
Brilliant. The woke Reich, because these people...
You're the Jewish Reich. That's what you are. You're the Jewish Reich. And what you do is you genocide the Palestinians. But it's actually, anti-Semitism is the biggest issue here. It couldn't possibly be fucking Islamophobia, the anti-Arab sentiment. No, that couldn't possibly be the issue. It couldn't possibly be the fucking genocide that I'm doing and supporting and funding and spending all my money on.
They're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies.
Yeah,
they're insane lunatics. It couldn't possibly be the person who is doing a fucking genocide and committing countless human rights violations. It's like, oh yeah, dude, all those innocent children, all those innocent children and their families seeking aid, food, shelter, etc., they're actually secretly Hamas. Because, what if one of them is Hamas? We better bomb them. We better get rid of them.
This is strategy, a galaxy brain chess maneuver here. Call everyone that doesn't support Israel Nazis.
No, literally.
Whoa, holy shit. This guy's, he's alting right now. Wow. So basically, if you're not, eating out of this guy's gooch and supporting Israel on everything, you're a Nazi.
Exactly. You are a Nazi if you condemn genocide.
You're that part of the base of our support in the United States, that is being challenged systematically.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Israel should be challenged for, the many human rights violations that the IDF is committing, or, the fucking genocide, the thing that's happening in Gaza right now.
A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back.
Fight back against what? People that oppose you doing a genocide? Dog, you are the aggressor here.
How do we fight back? Our influencers?
Just in case you forgot, Israel literally pays influencers to suck their wiener and just be like these loyal little lapdogs to always just lap up whatever Netanyahu's gooch is sweating out.
No, literally, the amount of fucking money that goes into getting people to support Israel, whether it be politicians or influencers, is disgusting.
It's unbelievable. And he's just being super open about it.
Gaza is the aggressor. That's so true, Odin Scott. It's actually the women and children being indiscriminately bombed that are the aggressors. You're so smart. I wish I had thought of that sooner.
He is just saying that in front of people's faces, and nobody seems to care.
And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important?
Dude, he's literally outright saying that he wants to control the media. You're talking about how everyone is a Nazi and anti-Semitism is an issue. And then you're doing a literal anti-Semitic stereotype. Why are you doing this? If you actually opposed anti-Semitism, you wouldn't do the most anti-Semitic stereotype of trying to fucking control the media, you absolute moron. But he actually doesn't give a fuck about anti-Semitism. He's just using it as a shield. Because at the end of the day, he wants to retain his position of power. It's all about power for this guy.
X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now.
Spoiler warning for those without thinking caps on. Censorship. He's talking about censorship.
True.
Damn to free speech. Benjamin Netanyahu's got other ideas.
Mind you, right-wingers such as Benjamin Netanyahu and the Republicans that are in office have consistently been against free speech. So I find it very absurd when conservatives that support MAGA will claim that they actually really care about free speech in America, while simultaneously saying that, if you made jokes about Charlie Kirk, you need to lose your job and get fired or kicked out of school. And also, you shouldn't be allowed to criticize Israel. We're going to support Benjamin Netanyahu. We're going to support Israel. We're going to ignore the fact that Palestinian protesters are getting locked up and arrested and deported without due process by the Trump administration. Just ignore all of that. Ignore the Epstein files. It is so transparent.
It's something he's talked about plenty in the past. He's not exactly shy with it. He's very loosey-goosey with the censorship topic, and he's talking about it again. He recognizes how everyone sharing videos and information about the atrocities and all the slaughter of the Palestinians at the hands of the IDF is making people turn on Israel. So now
I did not expect a take this monumentally based from somebody like Charlie. I always thought of Charlie as more of a fence sitter. He's a little bit more on the liberal leaning side, but I didn't think he was going to say anything this fucking based. I am so glad to see him finally stand up for what's right and say that yes, Israel is fucking evil.
Genocidal freak is going up to Elon Musk. Oh, Mr. Musk, can we do something?
Holy fucking based! And he acknowledges that Netanyahu is a genocidal maniac. Holy shit. I could not ask for any more. This is awesome. Wait, this is such a huge W. You have to keep in mind that, this might not seem like that much, but Charlie is somebody with 17 million subscribers of normies, essentially. He makes primarily apolitical content where he just sort of talks about his opinions on stuff generally, whether it be video games, YouTube drama, or occasionally politics. And I think that stuff like this is incredibly important. It's incredibly important that we have stuff like this. And the reason I say that is because somebody like me who makes explicitly political content, I'm only able to do so much, especially with the reach that I have, which is not huge. I don't have a huge reach. And keep in mind, people that watch my content are generally going to be more invested in politics. So just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
About like all these pesky voices sharing all of this. It's censorship. Super weird,
True.
by the way, how a foreign nation seems to have so much pull over things happening in our homeland.
True, I've been saying this for ages.
Why can Netanyahu come out with his full ass on display, talking about like how algorithms on the platforms here need to cater to him, and also he should be talking to Elon about Twitter so they can do something together.
It's because these people are all fascists. You know, it used to be a fucking meme hearing people like me say, yeah, these people are fascists. But now we're seeing the results of that. And over time, what you'll notice is that the people that support all these fucking right-wing fascists that are in power is that they will consistently move the goalpost. So while I might have been able to say, oh yeah, if they were to do this, you would concede that they're a fascist, right? And they would obviously say yes. But now that they're doing it, now the goalpost is moved. And well, no, that's not fascism. Fascism is this other thing that's more specific.
In regards to like the people not liking Israel anymore and what they're having access to. Why is that?
It's because these people don't want you to know the truth. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about free speech. They want to suppress you. They don't want you to be able to tell the truth. They don't want you to know the truth because they have no respect for you. And for all they care, you can go fuck yourself. Really. That's their attitude. They don't give a fuck about you. They hate you. They hate everything about you. They are using you.
That shouldn't be allowed, right? Like, what the fuck? This guy gets to come in and, like, completely wash our fucking freedom of speech in order to fit his censorship agenda?
Yes, the same way that Trump is. That for the same reasons that Trump is censoring the Epstein files and going out of his way to hide that as much as possible. The same way that Palestinian protesters are getting deported and arrested without due process here for simply exercising their free speech. Yeah. Netanyahu, far-right, fascist freak, no different.
Cool. How about no, Goober? Like, come on. This should be an outrage to everybody.
It should.
But it's...
Except conservatives don't care about free speech anymore. It's so fucking pathetic. And I've been saying this for years, that conservatives don't actually care about free speech. At least the liberals that are anti-free speech, they'll be honest about it. They'll say, yeah, I think that people should be censored for shit. They won't pretend to be like huge free speech warriors. Now, I'm a leftist and I am a fucking free speech warrior. So I'm very vocal about that. And I don't give a fuck what your political positions are. I don't think you should be censored. Right? I'm very vocal about that. But you'll notice that I am way more consistent than all of the rightoids who claim, oh, what about my free speech? What about my free speech? I care so much about free speech. So if you care about free speech, just saying, maybe support more people like me and less people that are right-wing that think you should be censored for making fun of Charlie Kirk. Big fucking deal. Or, censored for, protesting for Palestine. And by censored, I don't just mean censored by social media, but censored by the government. But they'll ignore that. They won't talk about that. They don't want you to know about that.
Not. It's just not. And that's just the signs of the times that we're in. Like, I made a video the other day about Ted Cruz with his slip-up where he said to stop attacking pedophiles.
Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
That is a crazy Freudian slip. And you know that that's what he was thinking. You know for a fact, because he's a right-wing politician. And I guarantee you, all of the right-wing politicians think that. They just won't say it out loud. But accidentally, he said the quiet part out loud there.
I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
Quite the Freudian slip. And as I said, there's no way he meant to say that. But he never corrected.
He obviously thought it. He obviously thought it. Let's not kid ourselves.
It or anything. No one points it out, and what he's talking about
It's because all of these right-wing nutjobs are all pro-pedo.
didn't pertain to pedophiles at all. His crime statistics were robbery, homicide, and rape. 2 out of 3 of those he covered previously. The last one, robbery, that doesn't relate to stopping attacking pedophiles. Like, those two don't connect. You can't put the square piece
All politicians are pedophiles. It's disproportionately right-wing politicians that are pedophiles.
into the circle hole on that one. And I saw people saying that it was intellectually dishonest to paint it as anything other than just like an embarrassing flub. Which is fair enough, I suppose, because I'm not trying to make the claim that this is him fully admitting to things and he's going full mask off.
I think that it was him accidentally going mask off. I don't think his intention was to go on mask off, right? I don't think he intended to go mask off like that. I don't think he intended to say that. It was obviously a mistake, but I do think that that was what he was thinking. He was thinking that. Because that is within his own best interest. Just saying. Why? Because of either A, his own proclivities, or B, the proclivities of the people that he associates with and that he knows about, but is silent on, because he doesn't care. And either way, he's a bad person.
Ted Cruz did, notably, reject the release of the Epstein files. Like,
What a crazy coincidence that the same person who is against releasing the Epstein files would also accidentally slip up with the craziest Freudian slip of all time saying that you shouldn't attack pedophiles. Do you think that maybe the pedophile in question was Trump? You think that might be who he was thinking of? Just saying.
from all available information, it seems he has been against the release of the Epstein files, judging from his votes in regards to it. So,
True. Also, thank you very much, Sage Rosabelle, you beautiful fucking bastard, for the $20. Very, very generous. Thank you so much. Saying, I must go for now, but it was fun. Take care, Miss Epic Femyoz. Thank you so much. You've been so generous. I will be updating the link to my Discord in the about section, but what I'm gonna do before you leave is copy and paste an invite link to my Discord. And the reason is because I feel like you'd enjoy it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go, nope, I gotta go here. Sorry about that. Sorry, chat. Oop, hold on. Sorry, I gotta like my own stream as well. How could I forget? And then I'm gonna paste the link. There you go. And heart your message. Why not? How could I forget? Heart and like the message. Oh, yeah. Anyways, where was I? Oh, right. We were doing something. Oh, right. We were watching a video.
I did pose that, here's a little food for thought. There may be a little
that's per the request of the donator. The donator can request donor rewards.
something there, possibly, but overall, the video, I was just taking the piss out of it. That's really it. But that was somehow incendiary and made people mad about, like, oh, to portray him clearly having a flub there with his words is absurd. And I just don't understand how we've reached this point where you can't even, like, point out the absurdity of something so fucking preposterous like a...
It's because these people don't want you to be allowed to criticize the people in power. That's what it boils down to. These people are in a fucking cult.
A politician saying, stop attacking pedophiles. It's crazy to me. But I saw people putting words...
It's because they think that right-wing politicians should be able to get away with whatever. Also, thank you, Mama Ramiro, for the $1. You beautiful fucking bastard. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
in his mouth saying what he meant to say, stop defending pedophiles. But again, that doesn't fit with what he's actually talking about here in the full context of what's going on. So why is he even bringing up pedophiles in the first place? It's super fucking weird. That's all I was saying, and making fun of him for it. The same way I've made fun of other flubs and weird...
No, but you're not allowed to make fun of right-wingers anymore. That's bad. You can't do that. The joke police are gonna come for you now. All right, we're gonna be the joke police and not let you.
Stuff from politicians like...
By the way, Femyoz, my name is actually Oliver. I see you.
Biden.
No, I'll try to remember that, but I might not be able to.
When he talk about, like, kids rubbing his leg hairs and shit like that. But things have just changed so fucking drastically. It's a totally different ballgame. But I'm gonna harp on Ted Cruz for a moment, because I just don't understand the glaze. I don't know how he has fucking hog riders. I do not get the pedophiles that will defend him tooth and nail. When he himself has said that the reason he got into Congress 13 years ago is to defend the interests of Israel.
I came into Congress 13 years ago,
Yes.
with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
Let's go. We've got the leading defender of Israel right here. Ted Cruz. Wow. That's really going to sell young people. Yeah, we all really want you to support Israel. That's what young people want.
Worked every day to do that.
Yeah, you know, if you ask a young person, you know, what's the number one issue you care about? You know, what they'll always say is, I think we need to fund Israel more. We need to send money to Israel more often in greater quantities.
So you are an American politician whose sole purpose for being here is to defend the interests of a foreign nation.
Yup. Literally. And we're meant to believe that these people aren't corrupt or completely bought out.
Here, domestically. I just don't know how that's not treasonous. I'm just gonna
Yeah, it's Ted Cruz, the honorary IDF member.
say, I don't get how that is not just like full-blown treason. I saw quite a few takes when it came out about Israel paying influencers for like
To be fair, right-wing politicians have been committing treason for ages. Trump has committed treason.
positive PR and stuff, and people were tossing the word treason around in regards to that. This is that times 50. I don't know how this one gets a pass. I don't get how
It's because he's right-wing, he's on their side, and all these people are sides cut.
that gets a pass. He is supposed to represent the state of Texas. You would think as an American politician, you would be prioritizing the interests of the nation that you're representing. But instead,
No, it's the interests of Israel that are the most important, because that's where the money is.
he is openly saying that he got into this for the
I was just watching this dude, he has the most fucking based takes ever in this video. I didn't expect him to be this based. Like, normally he comes across more like a milquetoast liberal. Nah, bro. In this video, he's so fucking
the
based.
sole reason of supporting a foreign nation here. Now, again, I'm not the most politically savvy guy on the planet. I'm a fucking Neanderthal. I get that. I am a Cro-Magnon man when it comes to this.
No, you're like super based compared to most people.
But I just don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around how people will support that. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. He's also never there anytime Texas needs him, like in the event of like tragedies and shit, like with the flood,
He's only there for Israel, because obviously that's where the money is.
the freeze from quite a few years back. He always seems to be on vacation. Like, it's just, I'll stop harping on Ted Cruz in particular. I'm just fucking blabbering here. It's 4 a.m. Obviously, it's another insomnia-fueled evening, so I can't help but just blabber. But my God, it's just crazy the times we're living in. Anyway,
True. So fucking based. So fucking based. I gotta leave a big fat thumbs up on this video. Oh my God. Do I make that into a video segment? Probably not, but just in case I do, just in case I end up running out of content. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this segment, make sure to let me know by smashing like, subscribe for more content. I try to go live every night, every evening. You know, we're getting there. I don't know. I haven't been able to keep up with that. I'm going to try to upload at least once a week, if not twice a week. That would be ideal. If you want to support me, there are a few ways that you can do that. Oh my God, what am I yapping about? There are many ways that you can support me. Whether it be through the Streamlabs link, you can, what am I yapping about? This doesn't make sense for a video. Why would I tell people to donate through Streamlabs in a video? Okay, smash like. If you want to boost this in the algorithm even more, there's like a hype button that exists within the first week of the video's release. My channel is not doing particularly well in the algorithm. If you want to boost me in the algorithm, press that if that's available for you. It should be within the first week of release. It's free, easy. It takes like a second. No reason not to do it. And, yeah, watch more of my content. Stay tuned for live streams, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, that'll be the outro if I make that a video. Yes, turn on notifications to be in part of the hashtag notification squad, and then you can become a part of the Femyoz family. That's true. All right, I think that would be like a good outro, right? Anyways, hey, thank you, Battlecrafter, for the $20. You beautiful fucking bastard. Saying W, the good Charlie. True. This is, in fact, the good Charlie. Unlike Charlie Kirk, who was the bad Charlie, we've got Penguin Zero, the good Charlie. And, monumental W indeed. Thank you very much, Battlecrafter, for the $20. You beautiful fucking bastard. Very generous. Thank you so much. And, yeah. Anyways, let's continue. What do we continue with? Yeah, Battlecrafter always coming through with the massive W's. We've done, oh my God, we've done actually like, I know it's not really reflected in the dono goal here, but for like an hour, we've done fairly well, dono wise. So if we, hold on, give me a sec. So if we look here, this is $25. That plus 73, that's like almost $100 in an hour. Now, granted, when it comes to chat revenue through super chats and memberships and whatnot, that's going to be whatchamacallit. That's going to be, I'm going to get 30% of that. So I don't get all of that, unfortunately. But, you know, anyways, how y'all doing, chat? I'm going to turn the mic up a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit quieter. Because, you know, I gotta be. You know, it's getting late. Oh, I can't be high energy forever. Chat, I want to watch a video. Only 30% what a ripoff. I'm saying that I get 70%. Did I say I get 30%? No, I get 70%. YouTube takes 30%. Cute hair as always. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. It's 70%. That's what I meant to say. I get 70%. YouTube takes 30%. About $50 the stream by my account. Yeah. So what is 73 times 0.7? She's ignoring my would you rather. Wait, I gotta scroll up to find it. Don't end stream before answering my question. I'm not ending stream yet. Would you rather jork it or jork it? Well, you're not giving me much of a choice there. Let's watch another video. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, stuff is getting scary for trans people, alright? And when I say stuff is getting scary for trans people, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying that to fearmonger for increasing the average view duration or whatever. What I mean is that it's very fucking scary, alright? We're getting to a point where, yeah, it's concerning. Being trans is genuinely getting scary in this country. So I want to watch a video called Being Trans is, okay. We're going to try this again. Being trans is a criminal act. Michigan HB 4938. So, let me put on the headphones, all right? 'Cause stuff is getting scary. I feel like I should talk about this. Yeah.
Michigan lawmakers have introduced a bill prohibiting any depiction or description of trans people or trans existence online, including it in a bill banning.
Now keep in mind, conservatives will try to tell you that no, we're not discriminating against trans people. We're not trying to erase your existence. Yet here they are, doing just that.
Pornographic material.
Now keep in mind, a lot of this boils down to projection. Conservatives have a tendency to project. Just because they think of us as porn doesn't mean that, well, we are pornographic in nature. That's just them having a tendency to fetishize us and our very existence. Because to them, we are an object to be fetishized. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why you'll notice that they are in favor of masturbating to us, as they quite frequently do that. It's borne out in the stats. The stats don't lie. But they're not in favor of us having basic human rights.
The bill would completely erase trans people online, equating them with pornography.
Yep. It is quite literally a form of censorship. It is disgusting. But no, it's not right-wingers that are in favor of censorship. It's the woke left, apparently.
That was a
I also want to read this tweet, okay? So it says, Michigan lawmakers have introduced a bill prohibiting any depiction or description of trans people or trans existence online, including it in a bill banning quote-unquote pornographic material. The bill would completely erase trans people online, equating them with porn. So total porn ban proposed by Michigan lawmakers. I'm really interested to read. It's from Mike Stabile. We might get into that later. All right.
That was a post that I came across today on social media. Mm-hmm. And the bill in question is Michigan House Bill 4938. I saw this post on my social media feed today, and immediately I thought of my cousin, who is non-binary, but also has a ton of friends who are trans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing that bill as a content creator who is openly and publicly transgender is really fucking scary. Because that means that my content would be censored for me simply existing and being myself. It's ridiculous. It is a scary time that we live in.
Living in the state. According to Trans Legislation Tracker, on the 11th of September, Michigan House Bill 4938 was referred to committee on the judiciary. Also on that day, it was read a first time and introduced by Representative Josh Shriver. Then, on the 16th of September, the bill was electronically reproduced from its original airing date on the 11th of September. A few selected quotes of this bill. This is House Bill 4938 for the state of Michigan. A bill to prohibit the distribution of certain material on the interest that corrupts the public morals.
By public morals, what they mean is that they think that being transgender is immoral. They think that you shouldn't be allowed to be transgender. When people like Michael Knowles said that they want to eradicate transgenderism from public life entirely, anyone that said, oh, well, they're just talking about transgender woke ideology was full of shit. And now we have proof that they were full of shit. Because obviously that's not what they meant. What they really mean is that trans people need to be banned from public life entirely. That's all it really boils down to. Transgenderism is merely a euphemism that was used for the longest time, but they're not even doing that anymore. They're not even trying to do that. No, they are just simply, they're making it very clear.
They're saying that this is for public morals. Prohibited material means is a depiction, description, or simulation, whether real, animated, digitally generated, written, or auditory, that includes a disconnection between biology and gender by an individual of one biological sex, imitating, depicting, or representing himself or herself to be of the other biological sex.
So basically, me existing is illegal, according to this bill. Just putting it out there.
Means. To put that in common phrasing, the sheer image of a transgender individual will now be seen as pornographic material.
True. My content would be seen as pornographic material under this law. A picture of me would be illegal on the basis of this law. My content would be banned from Michigan if this law were to pass. But let's just pretend like trans people aren't being targeted, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
That includes people's selfies on social media, sharing of family photos. Just being transgender online, interacting with other human beings will be seen as a pornographic act. Because they're saying, you were born this biological sex, there is no imitating the other sex. With the events that happened in Utah, and the president, Fox News in total, Elon Musk, all coming out and saying the tragedy that had happened was a direct action of the left, specifically of transgender individuals.
Which is absurd, by the way, because the shooter was a cis dude. It's kind of absurd. But again, they're going to paint it as an issue with trans people because we are their scapegoat. They don't give a fuck about being intellectually honest. And granted, I've been saying this for years now, but I think this goes to show that not only are they intellectually dishonest, they don't even try to hide it anymore. They're not even trying to hide it.
Perpetrating this. They said that before the shooter was even identified.
Correct. It's because they have an agenda to push, and they will do anything within their power to push said agenda. And their agenda, ultimately, is a trans genocide. And people have said, no, Femyoz, you're being overly dramatic here. It's not a trans genocide. There's no genocide against trans people. You're just over-exaggerating. Yet we now see legislation that proves the contrary. That proves me correct. So in 2022, when I was talking about the trans genocide that was happening, I was right. And now we're seeing the effects of it. We're seeing the escalation because I saw the warning signs years ago.
They automatically went to what happened to Charlie Kirk was because of transgender leftist liberals.
That's because they want to target us.
And even though the shooter was later identified as a white cis male with possible ties to the Republican Party, even a far-right group the machinations of the right are still saying that, nope, the reason this happened was because of transgender individuals.
Yep. And that's because they have an agenda to push.
Being the reason that this happened. Not the fact that the shooter was raised around guns and had access to guns, which happened to be the real issue here, but they're going with, oh, this violence was enacted because of trans people. And now the state of Michigan is trying to make it an act of distributing pornography if you have a Facebook profile and you're trans.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what right-wingers want to do. And keep in mind that, according to Charlie Kirk's own logic, his death was a necessary one for the Second Amendment. So, just putting it out there. Some gun deaths are necessary for the preservation of the Second Amendment, according to Charlie Kirk. So anytime you say, no, it was really bad that it happened, you're actually disrespecting the legacy of free speech warrior, an American hero, Charlie Kirk, who died during the tragedy, the national tragedy of 9/11.
If you upload photos of yourself from Instagram, if there's any image of just a trans person being online. Further reading. Section 4. An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in this state shall update its forms of service and content policies to explicitly prohibit any hosting, promotion, indexing, linking to, or access of prohibited material.
Is this the society you want to live in? Look, if you're a right-winger hate-watching me, is this really the society you want to live in? Do you want to live in a society full of censorship, where people don't have the right to look at whatever content they want, where the government cracks down on speech they don't like? There's nothing inherently pornographic about the video you're watching right now. What I'm doing isn't pornographic. Do you think that I should be censored and that I shouldn't be allowed to share my opinions? You might disagree with them. But you would have to agree that the government is overreaching here, correct? If you don't, then you might be a lost cause because, granted, you were never in favor of free speech. You were only in favor of your free speech. But to be in favor of free speech means to be in favor of the free speech of your worst enemies. And I've always been in favor of your free speech. I've always argued against leftists that say that right-wingers should be censored. I've argued against big tech censorship. I have explicitly stated many times that big tech censorship, taking action against right-wingers, doesn't actually help anyone. I've said that many times. And now we're seeing censorship in the opposite direction, and people aren't willing to offer me that same level of respect. It's really sad.
What the representatives in Michigan are trying to do is anything that mentions trans will now be deemed illegal pornographic material. They're trying to erase us from history. They're trying to make...
No, literally. It is no different from the burning of books in Nazi Germany. It is no different. It is quite literally a one-to-one comparison of what they did in Nazi Germany. I'm not even joking. You can look it up. You can look into the history of it. It's very interesting, actually. But they did some very similar shit when it came to queer people, especially trans people, and scientific research surrounding trans people. Right?
Our very existing seem like a crime. It will be a crime if this passes. Once again, on this site, back in 2024, there was a total of 10 bills being proposed that were anti-trans. Each one of those 10 bills, covering everything from healthcare services to sports, were denied, were dropped, failed. Now, in 2025, there are a total of 25 anti-trans bills being viewed in the state of Michigan. What changed from 2024 to 2025?
Well, I think we all know what changed, and we all see the writing on the wall. Let's not kid ourselves.
A massive grab of power by the executive branch of this nation. A system where favorable people were put into positions of power, i.e. Project 2025.
Quite literally. And remember that all of the right-wingers that were saying, oh, Project 2025 is never going to happen, Trump doesn't support it. Again, his actions speak louder than his words. We knew for a fact that he was going to implement Project 2025 before he was in office. And the reason we knew this is because we could look at Agenda 47. Agenda 47 was basically just a dialed back version of Project 2025. That's all it was. A lot of the shit was copy and pasted, verbatim. So, just saying.
And though the Republicans only control one branch of the government in Michigan currently, even though in 2024 all 10 transgender bills had failed, we're operating underneath a different system now.
It's because there's no checks or balances anymore.
The right can do whatever they want and bulldoze forward, and damn the consequences. We're not going to listen to the judges unless they favor us, unless they are us. We're going to make up our own false narratives to suit our needs. We're not going to listen to science. We're not going to listen to psychologists.
Correct. And keep in mind that right-wingers, especially MAGA freaks, have been anti-science for ages. They are entirely divorced from reality in many different ways. They think that vaccines cause autism. They think that fucking Tylenol causes autism now. They think that the 2020 election was stolen, even though it was Trump who attempted to steal that election. They completely ignore things like the Epstein files. It is so transparent. So transparent.
Healthcare professionals, family members, the individuals themselves. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to put out this narrative that transgender people are a blight on society and we all need to stop providing healthcare to them, safety to them by anti-discrimination laws. And in fact, they're trying really hard just to say that we're mentally ill. The right is trying to form this.
It's more than just saying that we're mentally ill. That's where it started, but no. It is an entire plan to erase us from society entirely, to erase us from public life. Michael Knowles saying transgenderism needs to be eradicated from public life entirely was not a radical right-wing position at the time. People saw it that way, but no, that was perfectly in line with what the GOP was in favor of. He was just outright stating what the GOP's intentions are going forward. And now we see what's happening. We see that they are quite literally eradicating us from public life.
Narrative that all of the woes, all of our problems in society, in this nation today, are caused by the left, are caused by transgender individuals, are caused by immigrants. Only 3 months ago, a gunman shot down 2 publicly elected Democrats, and the right's reaction was to ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same day as yet again another school tragedy, a right-wing podcaster was fatally shot. And before even finding out who the culprit was, they already had a narrative in place. This was
correct. It's because they will select for things that are convenient for their agenda. They are lying to you.
Was because of the left. This was because of trans people. See, this nation's going crazy. It's got to be them. The FBI and Kash Patel are saying, oh, there was a manifesto left by the shooter at his home, but it was destroyed.
Oh, that's so convenient. I'm sure it was the Transgenderism Manifesto. I know a trans girl that moved to Michigan from Ohio because they quote unquote felt safer here in Michigan. Yeah, don't move to a red state. Ever. Never move to a red state.
But we're trying to figure out how to read it, but we already know what it says. Does that seem a little bit fishy to you? The manifesto, there was one. We know what it says. It was destroyed. But we're going to tell you what it said. Trust us. Trust me, bro.
No, literally. It is quite literally the definition of just trust me,
and
bro.
If they're going to shut down discussions of trans people.
What happened to viewer count? So streams end up dying. Streams end up dying in the algorithm after a certain point when you stream vertically.
In one state. A state that I have a lot of friends who live in.
Mm-hmm.
Who are just like me.
Yep.
If they're going to shut down the discussion of trans people, the protections for trans people, completely in a state, deeming it pornographic, they're not going to stop here.
Correct. They're never going to stop here. And I've been saying this for years. People were like, oh, we just are against trans people in sports. Oh, we're actually also against, minors being able to transition, even though they've been diagnosed with gender dysphoria and they clearly are saying that they want to transition. Their parents consent, the doctors consent. It is medically recognized as the best course of action. Or just ignore the science on that, right? That's where it starts. And then they move the goalpost. Now suddenly it's bathroom issues. Suddenly we're back at bathroom discourse. We're going to ban trans women from using the bathroom. You should be forced to go into the men's restroom, where you're far more statistically likely to get raped and assaulted. But that's not enough for them. It doesn't stop there. Like a lot of people would have said, back in 2022 when they said, oh, well, I'm just not in favor of, this woke stuff of, pushing it on the kids, whatever the fuck that means, and transgenderism in sports. But again, the goalpost will always shift. If we give them an inch, they will take a mile, and we are seeing that play out today. And now it's not just bathrooms anymore. It is our right to exist, period. It is our right to exist in public. It is our right to speak. It is our right to talk about trans issues. It is our right to be ourselves. That is being stripped away now. So don't think that they're just going to take an inch and not take a mile. If they can take an inch, they will take a mile. So never let them have a single inch.
I want you to know this. They're not going to stop at one state. It's going to be a battleground each and every state.
Correct.
And they're not going to stop at transgender people. Right now, along with immigrants, we are the canary in the coal mine. Mm-hmm. First, they're going to come for us. Then they're going to come for the rest of the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
After that will be even further whittling away of women's rights.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately following that is going to be anyone who is not white.
That's true. Absolutely.
People of color. People of religions other than Christianity.
Mind you, there's also thank you, Dirt for the $2 saying, gotta go, would you rather jork it or jork it? Tell me. Well, I don't have much of a choice, but I guess jork it, because that's like the only option you're giving me. But anyways, wait, is this video transphobic? No. This video is spitting facts. But I guess to add on to that, I will say that they are going to target the working class. That's who they're going to target. They're not just going to target, trans people, LGBT, people of color, women. They're going to target the working class. But they've been doing that. That's not a new thing. But they're going to target them even more. Because there's going to be nobody left to stand up for them. Nobody. Because a lot of working class people have been brainwashed, have been indoctrinated into believing that the crux of the issue is that trans people are making everything woke and DEI is taking away their opportunities to get higher pay. That's what they believe. But once there's no more trans people to stand up for them, once there's no more queer people broadly to stand up for them, once women are suppressed and not able to stand up for them, once all of these groups of people that are currently being thrown under the bus are not able to stand up for them, it's just going to be them alone in that fight. Because I'll be gone. People like me will be gone. And let's just say there's not much they'll be able to do. Which is terrifying, really. Because at the end of the day, what this culture war really is not it is not that these people in power genuinely care about transgenderism destroying the world. That's not what they actually believe. No. It's far more sinister than that, if you can believe it. It is a mechanism to get leftists, to get people like me out of society. Why? Well, because it is within their best interest to do so. They are protecting capitalists. And what I mean by capitalists is not people that believe in capitalism. What I mean is they are protecting the people at the top. They are protecting the billionaires that want to exploit you for your labor. And in order to do that, they need to divide society as much as possible. They don't want us to work together. They don't want us to fight our oppressors. So instead, they set it up so that we fight each other. And so that half of us tear down the other half. Well, what's the result of that? Well, there's no unifying either side against, well, the wealthy elite, really. There is no option for that anymore. And that's really, really fucking scary. That's what terrifies me. Again, I'll be long gone, long censored, far before any of this takes place. If they get that far, I'm not gonna be here to talk about it on YouTube. My channel would most likely be taken down for far left extremism or whatever bullshit they make up 5 years from now, if they're still in power. Because it's only gonna get worse. I'm fine right now, of course, but it's not gonna stay that way. That's not permanent. So when I'm gone, remember that, maybe not when, but if, if it continues to get worse and I'm gone for being trans, I've been eradicated, just try your best to remember, well, everything that I'm saying right now, because it's going to hold true and you're going to see it play out.
And yes, this includes the atheists. Mark my words, it will boil down to atheists as well.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, every single group that they sort of splinter off, that they decide we are going to get rid of this splinter, we're going to peel it off, this big piece of wood. Every time they do that, they are separating what could have been a unifying force against the wealthy elite, against those that exploit us, against our oppressors, people that oppress the working class. Those that oppress the working class are not going to be, particularly easy to fight against. Once all the bark has been stripped off the log, once everything has been shaved off, once it's been whittled down to like a little broken up stick, and all the shavings are elsewhere. Think of it that way. It's like if a woodworker, slowly peels off the bark, they slowly scrape a little bit off the log. But if they keep doing it and they keep doing it and they keep doing it, eventually you're going to have a very weak, frail stick that can't fight back.
They will have state-mandated Christianity.
Pretty much. That is what they're in favor of. And we will get to that point. If we continue to allow these people to be in power, we need to do whatever it takes to prevent that. Because it's not an inevitability. I know I'm talking as if it is. It's an inevitability if these people remain in power, especially if that power is not being checked. It is up to us. Yeah, that's right. Me and you, the viewers. It is up to people like us to put a stop to it. We have to take action to stop this from happening. Because if we don't, we're not going to have the ability to ever do it again. We won't have the option to try. Even if we try and fail, at least we did so when there was still the option to do so.
A state-mandated religion. If this is allowed to unfold the way that they're wanting, being an atheist will also be illegal. I am not an atheist. I am religious.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't happen to be a Christian. I am a practicing Wiccan. But I have faith. And I'm not trying to preach or convert the masses because, unlike other religions, we Wiccans don't do that.
Based. I will say that the inserting of like a dead meme is a little bit cringe, but other than that, she's spitting.
We're not shoving it down your throat. And this whole idea of like, oh, well, trans people they're just flaunting it. They're just shoving it down our throats. We're not the ones creating laws saying that you can't be what you claim to be.
Correct. Absolutely. We're not the ones trying to legislate other people out of existence. We're not the ones that are in favor of censorship. We're not the ones that are trying to say that you shouldn't be allowed to exist in public life. We're not the ones that are saying that you should be legally forced and obligated to pretend to be somebody that you're not.
And by that, I mean you claim to be heterosexual.
Bruh.
The right are the ones that are fighting tooth and
Okay, she's spitting, but she needs to stop with like the cringe, unfunny, dead memes.
nail to erase anything they see as different. Two people of this mindset, two people of the far right, our existence is nothing more than a fetish.
That's true.
They're exacerbating what they masturbate to.
Yes. I have been saying this for ages. I'm so glad she's pointing this out.
Because the right is so enamored with us. And because they're so self-hating because of that.
True.
They think, hate the sin, not the sinner, where they are the sinners in this narrative, and our mere existence is the sin to be hated. And meanwhile, keep in mind, they're trying to distract you. Not just distract you from the Epstein files, not just to distract you from the fact that multiple countries are pulling out of the U.S. economy due to the tariffs implemented by Trump, not to distract you from unrest between Russia and Ukraine or unrest in the Middle East. They're trying
Damn, she fucking cooked. She cooked.
to make us fight each other and put out so many fires that have broken out in the past 5 or 6 months that we're all scrambling to keep up. It's not a fight between the left and the right. It's a fight between all of us versus the top 1%.
Boom. I promise I did not pre-watch this. But, I mean, that's literally what I said. That's literally what I said, is it not?
The only minority in this country, the only minority in this world that is causing harm to its people and to the planet and keeping us from living an abundant life are the billionaires.
And that's why they want to keep us divided. Because they benefit from us fighting each other. Because if we're not fighting each other, well, who are we going to direct that energy to? If we understand that we all have a common enemy in those that are in power, if we all understand who's really the oppressor, then the oppressor can no longer effectively oppress us without facing consequences. But once again, they don't want us to work together. They want to censor us. So you might not even agree with transgenderism or whatever, but even if that's the case, even if you think I'm a disgusting man that's mentally ill and perverted for being trans, whatever you think, you should at the very least be willing to concede the fact that, yeah, I'm right about this. Censorship is not going to benefit anyone. You don't benefit from it. I don't benefit from it. We are all the mutual, what's the opposite of beneficiaries? We're the inverse mutual beneficiaries. We're all harmed by it, is what I'm trying to say here. The fact of the matter is, when my free speech gets taken away, I'm not going to be able to defend you when your free speech gets taken away. When my rights are taken away, when I'm not allowed to defend you anymore, as soon as shit happens to you, as soon as the government starts cracking down against you, I can't do anything because I'd be gone. I wouldn't have a voice to advocate on your behalf like I have been doing the entire time. I've consistently been super pro free speech. I can't advocate for your free speech when it's the right that's being censored if I get censored. Just putting it out there. Just food for thought. But that's because I'm principled. I care a lot about free speech. That's one of my most valued and important issues. Because if we can't speak freely, if we can't exist freely in a society, if we can't be open about who we are and what we believe, then we don't live in a free society anymore. And it may not affect you directly right away, but it's gonna affect you, whether you like it or not.
Are the super mega wealthy. They are pitting us against each other.
This is true. No one is being censored in the US. Well, that's just not true. For example, I don't know, take for instance, Palestinian protesters that are being arrested and deported without due process by the US government. Does that sound like free speech to you? Doesn't sound like free speech to me now, does it? What about, I don't know, the video we're talking about, which is, I don't know, maybe the fact that this bill in Michigan, if it's passed, would prevent trans people from existing? It would censor all trans people. It considers any instance of a trans person existing as porn. We could read the entire bill on stream if that's what you want. We could get into it. But the snippet that we read already is damning enough.
in hopes that we will stay distracted long enough that they don't see the removal of our civil rights or us slipping further and further into a regressive history that will only lead to future generations being way worse off than we are today.
And is that what you want for your kids? Do you want your kids and your grandkids to live in a society of censorship where you're not allowed to speak freely? Are you in favor of living in a society where maniacs like Trump are in power, who don't care about checks and balances, who do everything through executive order? Do you want that to be the norm? Think about it. Is that the society you want to have your kids live in? Do you want your kids to grow up in a society full of hate and division? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. If not for your sake, for your kids' sake, for your grandchildren's sake, that you can at least agree that, this bill that aims to censor trans people, any discussion of trans people, any trans people on the internet, I would hope that you would agree that at least that's fucked up. Charlie Kirk fought for free speech on his side. Charlie Kirk was not a free speech warrior. Look, I'm not saying that he should have been killed, right? I obviously don't believe that. But what I will say is he was a bad person. He advocated for things that are bad. Now, granted, one thing that I might agree with him on to an extent might be free speech, but I don't know if he actually believed in free speech. I think he was a LARPer. I think he LARPed. I don't think he cares about my free speech. I don't even think he cares about your free speech, quite frankly. I think that he uses it as a mechanism to get people on his side. But again, we're not going to forget that he was a massive shill for the Israeli government. We're not going to forget the fact that he opposed the Civil Rights Act or that he was staunchly opposed to queer people existing. He thinks that, thought, was/were pronouns. Hard to remember sometimes. It's an adjustment. He genuinely believed and outright stated that he thinks that all gender-affirming care should be banned, meaning that I would be forced to detransition if he had his way. That would not be a life worth living. I would be dead. And any quotes? We read them on stream before. I'll have to make the Charlie Kirk segments into videos at some point. I don't want to keep going back to old stuff that I've already covered. So for now, take my word for it, but I will make it into videos. So don't worry. So keep up with the video content, I guess. I'm going to upload more. He also outright stated that if his own daughter got pregnant, not just pregnant, if his daughter at the age of 9 got raped and pregnant as a result, he would force her to carry the rape baby to term. Not even joking. You would not be dead? Yeah, I would. If I'm forced to detransition, I'd kill myself. Sorry, that's just a fact. Just putting it out there. Just saying. So, yeah, I would be.
It's been happening for years, but it's happening at an accelerated rate today.
Mm-hmm.
And again, transgender individuals such as myself and immigrants and the left, we're scapegoats.
That's true.
We don't want to do anything except for exist. We're
True.
not the ones taking away your health care.
True.
We're not the ones cutting education.
That's your decision? That's my decision. No, if it's the case that you make somebody's life not worth living through legislation, you're saying, essentially, that we're trying to eradicate this group of people. That's what that means. It is someone who is in favor of eradicating trans people entirely. That is what Charlie Kirk was in favor of. He doesn't want us to be allowed to exist. In his ideal society, I would not exist. I wouldn't be allowed to, is why. So, but again, you're anti-freedom. You hate freedom. You want the government to tell people what they are and aren't allowed to do to the benefit of nobody. You don't benefit from me being forced to detransition. Nobody does. Nobody. You're choosing to not transition. Would it be right if the government force feminized you? Of course not. That would be ridiculous. You would agree that that's overreach. So it's obviously overreach when it happens in the opposite direction. But you don't notice that, do you? Maybe if you become a little bit more observant, you will. You might also start noticing things like the Epstein files. I don't hate trans people. I'd rather just be as I am, and that's your right. Because unlike Devin Lewis, well, you know, I'm in favor of you having basic human rights and bodily autonomy. They're not being eradicated. They would just be untransitioned. And that benefits who exactly? Who's benefiting from that? We all are harmed by the fact that transitioning is paid for by our tax dollars. So you're okay with money being spent on the Israeli government. You're in favor of our money going to the Israeli military. You want our tax dollars to go to the IDF. You support that. That's totally fine. But going towards my healthcare is where you draw the line? Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Also, he wasn't just in favor of making it so that, the government doesn't fund it. He was in favor of banning it, meaning you wouldn't be able to get it privately either.
Which is a tactic, by the way. They want future generations to be ignorant so that
True.
they don't know that they are being bought and sold into a debt-ridden society.
True.
An educated populace is not good for fascists. Trump even said it himself.
Smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't
True.
like what we talk about.
As much
That's facts.
as it might seem that there is constantly just wave after wave after wave of bad news going on these days.
It's really depressing, and that's why I don't cover politics as much. It would be very easy for me to constantly cover politics if I didn't really give as much of a fuck. Why? Because it's probably a lot more profitable right now than it would be any other time, right? But, it's just really depressing.
Know that that is also a tactic that they are using. They want you to feel like there's nothing you can do. They want you to feel hopeless and afraid because
That's true. And we have to fight back regardless. I'm not in favor of our tax dollars going to other countries. Okay, so you obviously don't support Charlie Kirk then, because he was in favor of that. He was a staunch defender of Israel. But I'm also not in favor of the surgeries of others being paid for by me. Well, my friend, first of all, surgery and HRT are not the same thing. Secondly, Charlie Kirk, again, was not just in favor of stopping tax dollars from being spent on it. No, he was in favor of making it illegal entirely, including privately, meaning that private corporations wouldn't be able to sell me HRT either. Who does that benefit? Well, it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit you because private corporations don't collect tax money. That's not how that works. So, who is benefiting? Explain that one to me.
and that way you'll give up without a fight. What do I mean by fight?
Yeah. Mind you, Charlie Kirk's position is that anyone who, whether it be through private or public health care, anyone that provides gender-affirming care, whether it be publicly or privately, meaning that it would not be your tax dollars, should be criminalized for doing so. Meaning that I would be forced to detransition. So you're just wrong about that. You don't benefit from that. I obviously don't benefit from that. Who does? No one. It's basically just a way of fucking me over to get nothing in return. That's what he was in favor of. Because he hates trans people.
I'm not talking about violence here. What I'm talking about is getting involved, organizing, mutual aid, helping each other out, attending city hall meetings. If you can't do that, something as simple as speaking out when other people are bashing those communities that are most affected by this.
True. And that's what I do.
If you have a coworker or somebody around you is bad-mouthing transgender people, immigrants, the left, you don't have to get violent. You don't have to raise your voice. You just have to be like, explain. Why do you think that is?
True. And then just spit facts and logic. That's what I do.
Where did you hear that? What proof do you have? Don't play into their game. Let them know that not everyone feels the way that they feel. And come election time, if we have an election, I hope that we have an election in this country.
Me too.
Let your voices be heard at the ballot box, but let your voices be heard. Don't give up. Do not give up because that's what they want. That is what
True.
they're hoping that you will do.
True.
The baseline of queer resistance is survival. Don't burn yourself out. Don't get bogged down in the news. Sleep enough, eat enough, rest enough, and seek some joy. Reinvest some time into hobbies. Queer fight back can only be accomplished when you have looked after yourself. Queer joy is rebellion.
True. This applies to like all of you guys.
That is how we're going to win. We're not going to let them beat us down. We will
Facts.
find a way. We will survive. We will outlast them.
Also, no, I have not gotten any surgeries. Said those things because he has biblical views. Well, he wasn't just in favor of biblical views or whatever. He was in favor of those being mandated by the government. He can believe whatever he wants, right? I'm not saying he's not allowed to believe those things. But where I draw the line isn't just him believing abhorrent things. It's him trying to turn it into legislation. You believe that trans people are just confused? Well, the medical professionals disagree with that. However, my views are different because Charlie and I did disagree on some things. Well, I think that he was a horrible person. I think he was a horrible person for advocating for people like me to not have rights.
Future generations will write history books about the days that we are living in now. And the people reading those history books are going to think, my God, they were so blind.
Mm-hmm.
Stay strong.
I agree. I will leave a... Dude, we've watched some really good videos today. Normally I watch bad videos that I like to make fun of. But today we got to watch good videos. So I'm smashing like. You know, I'm gonna drop a sub. Not with the notifications on, at least not yet, just because I haven't seen this person's other content. But everything she said is pretty much just factually correct. And if I turn this into a video segment, what do I say? Like, anyways, I know this was a little bit more of a depressing topic. Thank you all for watching regardless. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you for supporting me. I try to upload at least once a week. I also try to live stream every night, so stay tuned for those. Leave a like to boost me in the algorithm. If it's within the first 7 days of this video being uploaded, there should be like a little hype feature. Press that. It boosts me in the algorithm even more, which is awesome. If you want more people to find out about this, I think people need to know about this. Subscribe for more content if you want to see, if you want to, subscribe for more content, especially if you support trans rights. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. All right, so that'll be the outro for that. And yeah, what I'm really interested in doing now is I really want to read. I want to read this bill. Okay? I want to read the fuck out of this bill. All right, we're gonna Michigan Legislature.gov. And it's in the smallest text imaginable. Okay, do we have a different version of it? Where it's like not in the smallest text ever? Okay, no, apparently not. Mind you, this is the font. I can't read this. This is like impossible to read. I'd have to really zoom in. And it's just not going to be. All right. You know what? We'll read it anyway. We'll try our best here. So, a bill to prohibit the distribution of certain material on the internet that corrupts the public morals and prescribe penalties, to prescribe civil sanctions, to regulate commercial entities. So keep in mind, this is a regulation on your speech. This is a regulation on the speech of corporations. This is a regulation on everyone's speech. Okay? Just keep that in mind. To provide for the powers and duties of certain state and local government officers and entities. So long story short, they want government officials to dictate what you are and aren't allowed to say on the internet. That's what this bill boils down to. To create certain funds and to provide for the distribution of money from certain funds. So basically your tax money, your taxpayer dollars would be going towards, well, you being censored. Your money would be going towards you getting fucked over for no reason, to benefit nobody except for the people at the top. The people of the state of Michigan enact. Section 1. This act may be cited as the Anti-Corruption of Public Morals Act. And who's deciding what's moral and immoral? Well, obviously the people at the top. It's not people that are actually moral. Do you want those who are in positions of power to dictate what you are and aren't allowed to say? I would certainly hope not. Section 2. As used in this act, A. Circumvention tools means any software, hardware, or service designed to bypass internet filtering mechanisms or content restrictions, including virtual private networks, proxy servers, and encrypted tunneling methods to evade content restrictions. So basically, they want to enforce this censorship as much as possible. This is what right-wingers are in favor of. B. Commercial entity means any business, institution, government facility, nonprofit, or digital service, public or private, meaning not government owned. So the government is dictating what you are and aren't allowed to host on your platform, that provides access to, hosts, sells, or otherwise handles content. Oh, shit. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Intended for users or the general public. Again, it's censorship. Distribute means to provide, share, transmit, publish, circulate, sell, blah, 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 or make available in any way online, whether by device, peer-to-peer, broadcast, or streaming methods. D. Internet service provider means any entity that provides consumers with internet access and that must enforce content filtering under this act. So basically, your internet service provider would not be allowed to engage in, well, letting you speak freely, essentially. They would be forced to censor you. Pornographic material. This is interesting. Pornographic material includes any content, digital, streamed, or otherwise distributed on the internet, the primary purpose of which is to sexually arouse or gratify. Now, this is interesting because later in the bill, what we're going to see is that that's not where it starts and ends, including videos, erotica, magazines, stories, manga, material generated by artificial intelligence, live feeds, or sound clips. Prohibited material means, except as provided in subparagraph II material that at common law was not protected by the adoption of the First Amendment of the Constitution respecting laws abridging freedom of speech or of the press, and is a digital depiction, description, or simulation, whether real, animated, digitally generated, written, or auditory, of sexual acts that includes any of the following. Okay. Vaginal or anal intercourse, fellatio or cunnilingus, masturbation, or blah, 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 penetration, group sex, bondage, domination, acts involving bodily fluids, moaning, blah, 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 sensual voice content. So basically, long story short, just banning porn outright. So, just straight up censorship. Not just an ID law. No. It's just banned, period. Any other pornographic material. B is a depiction, description, or simulation, whether real, animated, digitally generated, written, or auditory, that includes a disconnection. Okay, so this is what was read earlier. So this would be banned. So anything that is a depiction, description, or simulation, whether real, animated, digitally generated, written, or auditory, that includes a disconnection between biology and gender by an individual of one biological sex imitating, depicting, or representing himself or herself to be one of the other biological sex by means of a combination of attire, cosmetology, or prosthetics, or as having a reproductive nature contrary to the individual's biological sex. So basically what that means is if you're a biological male and you wear a dress, you will be censored according to this law. Okay? Prohibited material does not include any of the following. Materially be used for scientific and medical research or instruction, peer-reviewed academic context, a commercial entity, public entity, private actor, blah, 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 shall not knowingly distribute. Okay, this is interesting. A commercial entity, public institution, or private actor or internet platform shall not knowingly distribute or make available prohibited material via the internet to any individual in this state. So basically, it doesn't even matter if you're like an adult. No. You are not allowed to watch porn as an adult in the state of Michigan, according to this law. Additionally, You're not allowed to post a video of a trans person existing, because that, for whatever reason, is defined as pornographic. Meaning that if you wear a dress, but you're assigned male at birth, that's illegal now. You're not allowed to upload that. You're committing a crime here. And commercial entities are not allowed to allow for that. They're not allowed to show you that. It is the most blatant censorship imaginable. Except as provided in subsection 2, individual or entity that interesting. An individual or entity that violates this subsection is guilty of a felony, punishable by imprisonment for not more than 20 years, or a fine of not more than $100,000, or both. It's quite literally 1984 at this point. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. So basically, if a commercial entity doesn't fucking censor you, you end up in prison. It's a felony. Being transgender, being publicly transgender on the internet, according to this law, would be a felony. If a violation of subsection 1 involves more than 100 pieces of prohibited material, the individual or entity is guilty of a felony, punishable by imprisonment for not more than 25 years, or a fine of not more than $125,000, or both. An internet service provider providing internet service in this state shall implement mandatory filtering technology to prevent residents from the state from accessing prohibited material. An internet service provider providing the service in the state shall actively monitor and block known circumvention tools. In addition to the criminal penalties provided under subsections 1 and 2, a commercial entity or internet service provider that knowingly facilitates access to prohibited material in violation of this section is subject to a civil fine of not more than $500,000 for each violation. The promotion or sale of circumvention tools to access prohibited material is prohibited. An internet service provider providing internet service in the state shall block access to specific websites that host prohibited material on receipt of a valid court order. Section 4, 1. An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible to a user in the state shall update its service. Okay, this is interesting. An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in this state shall update its terms of service and content policies to explicitly prohibit any hosting, promotion, indexing, linking to, or access of prohibited material. So basically what this means is that, once again, if you're publicly trans, you are legally required to update your TOS. It is basically it's state mandated censorship. It is state mandated big tech censorship. So anytime a right winger says that they're against censorship, or especially if they say that they're anti big tech censorship, remember that this law exists and that it might actually be passed. We don't know. A policy developed under this subsection may provide for the implementation of filtering tools. So basically, it's providing censorship tools. Yippee! An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible to a user in the state shall enforce such prohibitions uniformly across all users. So again, it's not even just like you're required to provide your ID to YouTube. No, it is worse than that. This is so fucked. It's so fucked up. So this isn't just going to affect trans people negatively. If you're a conservative and you live in the state of Michigan especially, this affects you. Yes, you, my friend. Anyways, this is really bad. Is my cat trying to get in? Let's see, where were we? 2. An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in the state shall implement content moderation tools such as artificial intelligence-driven filtering technology for preemptive removal of prohibited material. B. Human review teams responsible for content evaluation and enforcement. C. a public reporting mechanism with 2 business day responses. C, a public reporting mechanism with a 2 business day response time for law enforcement flagged content. D, automatic account suspension or permanent bans for repeat offenders. 3, an internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in this state shall provide an annual transparency report to the Department of State Police that details compliance measures and enforcement actions. 4, an internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in the state shall implement filtering and moderation systems, such as systems that are capable of doing the following. A, prevent access to prohibited material for all users. B, use both automated and human moderation. C, include real-time content scanning, keyword and metadata analysis, image recognition, and immediate takedown mechanisms. D, operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without user override. 5, an internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in the state shall establish a trusted flagger program through which law enforcement and designated organizations have priority in reporting prohibited material. An internet platform, website, or social media service that is accessible by a user in the state shall respond to such flagged content within 2 business days and begin removal or disabling access procedures immediately. Law enforcement, certified civil agencies, and public institutions may report prohibited content with priority. As used in this subsection, Trusted Flagger Program means a program that must be administered by the Department of Attorney General. Section 5. 1. The Department of Attorney General shall establish a special Internet Content Enforcement Division to audit, investigate, and enforce compliance with this act. 2. The Special Division shall do all of the following. A. Investigate and prosecute violations of this act. B. Conduct audits of the internet service providers and internet platforms, websites, and social media services to ensure compliance with filtering content restriction requirements. C. Coordinate with federal and international law enforcement to remove access to prohibited material on the internet by residents of this state. D. Manage a public reporting system through which residents of the state can submit complaints regarding violations. E. Issue legally binding orders that require internet platforms to remove non-compliant content within 2 business days of notice. F. Conduct regular compliance training and issue guidelines to internet service providers and internet platforms. G. Prepare an annual compliance and enforcement report. This report, required under this subdivision, must be submitted to the government and legislature. 3. An internet platform, internet service provider, website, or institutions must comply with a takedown order issued by the Attorney General or designated enforcement division under subsection 2. E. Within 2 business days of notice. As used in this subsection, business day excludes weekends and if it blah blah blah, obviously. 4. An internet platform, service provider, blah blah blah, that fails to comply with subsection 3 is subject to a civil fine of $250,000 per day of delay. Wow. The special division created under subsection 1 must be staffed with digital forensics analysis, legal experts, cybersecurity specialists, and investigators. All of this just censor porn and also trans people. For no fucking reason, by the way. Like, is this what you want your taxpayer dollars to go to? Just saying. Quite literally the speech police. 6. A fund is created in the state treasury to prevent the distribution of prohibited material via the internet to residents of the state. The state treasurer shall deposit money and other assets received from civil fines collected under this act or any other source in the fund. The state treasurer shall direct the investment of money in the fund and credit interest and earnings from the investments to the fund. It's your guys. That means that your guys' money, your guys' taxpayer dollars goes towards censorship. Yippee! Aren't you so excited for your taxpayer dollars to go towards that instead of your healthcare? It's awesome. The Department of Attorney General is the administrator of the fund for audits of the fund. The Department of the Attorney General shall expend money from the fund on appropriation only for the costs of administration and enforcement of this act, meaning that your money gets spent on the Censorship Act. Aren't you so excited? and for any costs associated with the administration of this act. Enacting Section 1. This act takes effect 90 days after the date that is enacted into law. Enacting Section 2. This act does not take effect until House Bill request number H03698 of 25 of the 103rd legislature is enacted into law. So, for anyone that claims that right-wing politicians don't aim to censor you, I urge you to read this bill in its entirety. It's really fucking concerning. Really concerning. This is not just going to affect Michigan. This isn't going to stop at Michigan. If this gets passed, it is something that's going to get passed in all the red states. So, if you support free speech, then you necessarily have to oppose this. Otherwise, you don't support free speech. You hate free speech, you hate our Constitution, and you want your taxpayer dollars to be used and spent on censorship mechanisms. Is that really what you want? Is that what you want to be known for? Does that really align with American values even? Does that align with what the Founding Fathers would have wanted? Would the Founding Fathers want your taxpayer money to be spent on censorship? We know that that's not the case. Look, I'm not like a super American patriot or whatever the fuck, okay? I have a lot of criticisms of America. But what I will say is seeing people be this blatantly anti-American is fucking pathetic. Not even anti-American in like the edgy sort of, yeah, fuck America because of like, you know, foreign conflicts type of reasoning. No. It's literally just fuck all of the good things about America. Fuck free speech. Fuck freedom in general. We want to pay money to the government to censor us. But apparently this is the land of the free. Somehow. I don't know how. I need to drink some water. I also need to go to the bathroom and pee. Also, yes, this would mean that femboys would be censored. You wouldn't be allowed to post as a femboy. You wouldn't be allowed to view posts of femboys or about femboys. That would also be illegal. So that's like a lot of you guys would get fucked over. And for all the conservatives that secretly watch trans porn, you'd get fucked over as well. Yeah, I know. I know there's at least one of you motherfuckers watching this. Just saying. Just saying. All right, I really need to pee. So I'm going to be right back. Ooh, feels so much better. Hello, tipster. Hope you're doing well. Famous is the big gay with a capital F slur. True. Very accurate. I agree. I want to see the chair. Is that so? Well, we just got finished reading House Bill number 4938, which is essentially a censorship bill that not only aims to ban porn entirely in the state of Michigan, meaning that, like, even if you're an adult, even with ID verification, you wouldn't be able to access it. And basically, it would also criminalize any bypassing methods, like using a VPN and shit like that. But also, well, let's just say one of the things that it defines, and I think that this might be worth covering on stream if you still cover leftist politics occasionally. What it describes, one of the things it describes as pornographic is, hold on, let's see. This is really important. Where the fuck is it? Let's see. Where does it say? Where does it describe? I'm trying to find it. Fuck. We literally read it like a minute ago. Okay. So one of the things. Okay, here it is. So one of the things that would be banned is a depiction, description, or simulation, whether real, animated, or digitally generated, written, or auditory, that includes a disconnection between biology and gender by an individual of one biological sex imitating, depicting, or representing himself or herself to be of the other biological sex by means of a combination of attire, cosmetology, or prosthetics, or as having a reproductive nature contrary to the individual's biological sex. So basically any internet content containing that would be censored in the state of Michigan. So, again, this is House Bill number 4938. We watched a video on stream about it. That's how I found out about it, which is right here. It's called Being Trans is a Criminal Act, Michigan House Bill 4938. So, yeah, if you haven't covered that, I recommend that. Things have been tough with my dad's health lately, so admittedly kind of stressed and anxious. I'm really sorry to hear that. Well, I hope he gets better. Yeah, if it has trans or femboy, it's censored. Pretty much. Pretty much. So, really scary stuff. Really fucking scary stuff. Because, again, I've always been anti-censorship, and, yeah. The fact that it would be a crime punishable by 20 years in prison and a fine of $100,000, though, is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Well, then what's this? Apologizing to glorious leader Trump? We'll watch that on the next stream. All right, because we're going to restart stream soon. Just because, like, you know, obviously shit dies in the algorithm. You know, when you stream vertically, it dies in the algorithm after a little bit. So, but before I leave, I'm not going to leave yet. It'll lag for a second. Don't leave. I'm just setting it up. So it'll lag for like 1 second, okay? Literally just 1 second. And we're back. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Anyways. It's insane how much of this transphobic legislation is getting passed. I hate it here. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really fucking bad. I'm an ally, I'm pretty Catholic. I can guarantee that God doesn't judge and loves you no matter if you're gay, straight, femboy, tomboy, or anything else. Hell yeah. OMG, you're back with stream? I am. And I need to add a redirect for when I restart stream, of course. I'm gonna... Hold on, wait. open link in new tab because I need to change the title of this so I know which stream this is. Is terrifying. Okay. Save. All right. Also going to copy and paste the dono link. I'm also going to go here. Okay. Oh, right. I also need to duplicate this. The reason we're going to duplicate it is because I need to put in a playlist and all that stuff, all that good stuff. You can't see it on my end just because, you know, of course. Okay. Let YouTube decide. Then we're going to go over here. Lettuce Maxing is the playlist name. I should make these playlists public, honestly. Trans girl stream. Okay. Save. Then we're going to go over here into view and live control room. Yes, I'm going to do another stream. We're going to do another stream. It's going to be very chill, very epic. Okay. Switch that to live chat, of course. And shorts thumbnail rotation. You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't started the stream off with a poll. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a poll, which is have you liked the stream yet? And then the two genders, which is going to be yes and also yes. So have you... I used to do this all the time, but I keep forgetting to do it. Because I just stopped doing it. So yes, and also yes, the two genders. Okay. I don't know, it might increase engagement. Gonna head out, but always nice to see you, friend. Have a good night, and thanks for the kind words, chat. Yeah, have a good one. Have a good one, Mr. Tip. Hope you enjoyed your stay. I know the topic was a little bit depressing, but you know. Also, I just noticed something. So you see how it says $25 over here in like the daily dono gold bar? So that's like Streamlabs donos. Dude, we have exactly a $100 in donos today because this is chat revenue. That's like really interesting. Now, granted, I get 70% of chat revenue, so 75 times 0.7 is what I get plus 25 because I get all of Streamlabs. But you know, with that being said, I'm gonna switch to the next stream, basically. So it should redirect you. If it doesn't redirect you to the next stream, then what you're gonna want to do is click on my channel, refresh, and more refreshing, and yeah, definitely refresh. All right. With that being said, I will see you all in 5 seconds.